I'm Brandon.
Am I in the shop? Follow me. What about my camera?
They can hear you. All right, episode 60. Maybe.
Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
Did you lock the door?
No.
You sure? Yard sale.
Oh no, more technical
I know what that
difficulties.
sound is.
You're gonna need a cleanup on aisle.
All right, we are live tonight with episode 60.
Are we live now?
We are live.
Okay.
Get a couple people shared around here.
I'll try to get on here to share. Kyle.
I ain't on there. I'm way out.
Your volume is way loud.
Pug's locking the door. All right, so tonight, episode 60, we have at one point
Dings?
leader Kyle Wisnett in the CPC on High Rock. You know how many people texted me asking if you won that thing? Did you put that post up? And Npfl Pro, Mr. Pug Clements here
What's going on?
in the house. Also,
Hey, I led the CVC for a minute too.
did you?
Yeah. I waited in like
I never did.
9th.
Pug, also known as famous cameraman for
Yeah.
Rusty Hooks Live.
I'm a big time cameraman. If you need any field work done, just give me a call.
The only problem is you'll be lucky if he shows up on
Just
time.
make sure you get a wake up call.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it when I get there, though.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
regardless of what time it is, it's definitely worth it.
All you see is
Who is the special guest
Mom.
tonight? Rob Blackman. We've got Pug Clements
Me.
and Kyle Wisnett.
Here I am, Rob.
If you need a wrestling referee, there he sits right there.
No, I'm booked up.
Are you booked up?
Yes, a lot.
Wrestling's getting ready to get cranked up. Is
It's nuts.
that a summer sport
No, it's a winter sport.
Winter
Scheduled because of
because of COVID?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Did you wrestle at all?
I wrestled one match in high school and decided it wasn't for me. I got disqualified from that match.
DDT somebody?
No, the guy put me in a headlock, and the only way I knew to get out was put my elbow in his ribs, and apparently that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you watch the wrestling on TV that David don't like
Yeah,
talking
right,
about,
yeah.
not
A
the-
stone cold
yeah.
stunner kind of, right? Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of that, we talk about this about every Monday now that A&E's doing
Oh boy,
biographies
here we
on
go.
WWE.
WWE was awesome.
We'll get fishing right here in a little bit,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
last night they did the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Heroic. Snap into a Slim Jim.
I mean,
the,
they did share. You know how much Slim Jim was paying him a year back in the 90s?
That was a big thing, man.
$750,000
A year?
a year.
Go
I
Randy.
was snapped into a
Me too.
Let's snap another one.
I was a big NWO guy. You remember
World
WCW?
Order,
Yeah,
man.
the New World Order. I was a big Hulk Hogan guy.
Yeah, one of our past 1v1 champions. He'll probably get on here in a little bit. Joey Sabaga.
Yeah.
He jumped out of his truck, emulating Hulk Hogan and NWO.
Hey,
Voodoo Child entrance, playing Voodoo Child on the belt.
I was a little too young for a yellow shirt, but the black beard Hulk Hogan with the NWO, like I was a big NWO guy, man. I was an outlaw when I was growing up.
I understand. Then there was the Wolfpack. We know
Yeah.
them all.
Absolutely.
David doesn't. David, I'm sorry.
David
Try
missed
to
his
include you.
childhood.
Nah, I mean, I'm good. I don't feel like I wasted that much time in my life on.
You never made a
Useless.
ring in your living room and had like a cardboard belt that
No.
you and your friends fought over or anything?
Dude, we
like that?
had
You
we
played
had,
soccer and tennis and stuff, right?
He was a country club kid.
I did play soccer, basketball, and golf. Not tennis. I did play tennis a little bit, but not on a team.
No croquet, water polo.
No.
I will tell you, it was as bad for me that I had them little ring doll things where you beat the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, dude! What was those guys? The guys that did the
Bushwhackers.
the bushwhackers. Yeah.
There's
I
still
had a
one
couple
hanging
of
in my
those.
dad's garage, and he'll get it down every once in a while. My dad has a great Hulk Hogan voice. He does. He can emulate him pretty well.
Oh, why don't we bring him in? That'd be more entertaining than these two clowns.
No, man.
I'm gonna tell you,
I'm telling
Brandon's
people-
dad's a funny guy.
I don't
He's
know.
one of those that you can cut up with.
The guys that know Bart, I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if they can handle it. You guys let us know. We're dropping some frames tonight. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Well, they're still commenting wrestling. They don't care about fishing.
What are
That's
the comments on wrestling? We can talk about that all night, man.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
Pug's left arm is pretty big. That's all you can see is Pug's left arm. He's flexing.
No, you turn. You gotta hit this.
Wrestling buddies. There we go. I knew
There's
somebody
a-
would know.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Hey, Pug, what was what did you have to hit to get it to go the right way?
Full screen.
It's been a long time ago. Yeah, it's like the full screen deal.
I hit the 3 dots.
You guys
but
hold with us. I'm going to try to swap us on the network here. We might lose you for a second. We'll be right back if we do. Drop that.
Okay.
I see me on yours.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta figure out how to
All
do
right.
this.
See if they come back. Okay, I'll try that. See if it gets any better.
There's a way to do this.
Yeah, I figured it out the other night.
Ronnie Mueller, yeah, we did. Macho Man was last night. If wrestling on my grandpa's, you didn't talk. That's right, Mike. That's the way it was when I was little too. It was a lot of fun. I haven't watched it in a long time though.
But what did you learn from wrestling?
Like,
I really
life
want.
lessons.
Entertainment.
That's what life lessons.
What kind?
Well, I mean,
Name one.
you had family disputes between the Undertaker and Kane. Like,
I mean,
you learned
yeah.
how to deal with family disputes. You
You did.
yeah,
Kane was a mayor. Didn't he run for mayor?
He still is a mayor.
Mayor is.
yeah,
In Tennessee.
That's a big dude.
yeah. I mean, it was just I can't even like. There was so much that I gathered in my childhood from wrestling. I learned how to defend myself in the living room. We had a belt that looked an awful lot like yours. That I
And
think
you
you're
learned-
going to talk about in a minute. That we fought for all the time. I think it was one of my mom's belts, and we had like a piece of cardboard on it that said "champ." I mean, our friends we bloody up in the living room, like we wanted it bad.
And he learned how to elbow somebody in the ribs when they got a hold of him in a real wrestling match.
I'm more of the grab and twist type. You put me in a headlock and something's gonna get wrenched.
It was like Steve Austin was probably one of my heroes. Stone Cold, like he was a big hero. For
Wow,
me, big
Pug.
influence. Yeah.
Wow.
But we got some questions rolling in for you.
Awesome.
So Rob Blackman says he's got a question for you, but he hasn't posted it yet.
Okay, I'll wait on that. Yeah.
And then Tommy Ackright wants to know, do you call and beg to be on everyone's podcast?
I do. I call and plead and beg, and it takes a while, and a lot of people have to cancel. But every now and again, I get somebody lets me on.
You're pretty good.
Jason Land,
Yeah.
Kyle does not need a bigger cup. He could swim in that one if
Dude,
he
that's
really
a-
wanted to.
That's a 3XL cup. That's like a
It actually says 3XL
yeah,
on it.
that's a truck driver cup.
And show up late to 1v1.
Big gulps, eh?
Stays colder and longer. That's a cold pop.
Yeah, it's like a Yeti cup,
Oh.
different.
David, you're going to have to get on Comporium again. We're dropping rates, frames.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody's really complained yet.
Yeah,
not
people
yet.
can see, and we
All right.
roll on.
All right. You guys have to bear with us. I've done everything I know to do. All right. Here's Rob Blackman's question.
Okay.
Do you think the Npfl has the same level of competition as Bass and MLF?
No.
No, that's no question. I'll tell you that straight up. Like, the NPFL's not claiming to. I think it's the same. I mean, I'm being very serious. I think it's the same nerves. I think the entry fees are the same. The guys are putting it out there just like the elite guys are. Do I think the skill level is the same? No, it's not even close.
So I watched the first 2 events, right?
Yeah.
I can't say I've watched them from start to finish, but I have noticed that there's a couple guys that seem to separate themselves.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
And we do have 12 to 15 guys that are fishing multiple tours, Opens, Toyota Series, NPFL. They've been doing this for years.
Trying to get, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, guys that fish for a living, there's 12 or 15 of them that literally fish We had guys that left Douglas Lake, came and fished the Npfl in Texas, and left there, and either drove to Seminole to fish the Costa or drove to Pickwick to fish the first Central Open. So we got guys fishing 19 national tournaments a year, and I think those are guys you're seeing that's in that tournament rhythm that's separating themselves from the field for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to pick it up and put it down. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess you found there, Kyle. Randy tells all.
You know, I was wondering, like, usually when Tommy logs off, and Randy and Rob, Joey gets on.
Yeah, we talked about that last.
He's got to, really, I missed it. He's got to disguise it a little better. They got to do a little better. Like, at least when I'm here, Walker still gets on there. So they're trying to figure it out. Like, I'm sitting here not messing with hands, and Walker.
Well, Walker screwed up one night because while you were here, they commented on Scott Wisnett one night too.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was pretty.
I try to tell him there's more than one password for Walker, but I don't know. They'll figure it out.
I can tell you for a fact that Randy tells all, Rob Blackman, and whoever else is on here
Josh Good.
is not Joey. I know those two are not Joey. I would give him a hard time because he comments a lot right when they comment.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, I got a phone call after last week's podcast because somebody was a little salty that we portrayed him as somebody he is not.
Oh, I know better. I've been around a lot of BS.
I mean, you gotta
He gonna have to try harder.
you're gonna have to defend it that bad. I mean, come on.
Here we
There
go. There
he is.
There, see, look. Ding, 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 ding. Look.
The bell was rung.
No, Rob Blackman's gonna comment.
Points were proven.
We're logging out now?
You already been to Joey's house?
No,
He's got like 16 laptops set up.
He's got like a layer. He's got like a podcast layer, so he can.
I'm just kidding, man. Joey's a good guy. He makes some good videos. He does a lot for. He's very good at
Hey,
the
Pug.
marketing
Yep.
side of it.
Volume. Who are you? You're just talking.
I don't think so.
Somebody's was.
It's all the way down.
I'm not even on.
It's
not
muted.
me.
Something's echoing. Maybe. Hey, hang on a second. No, it wasn't me.
I dropped mine off to try to save us some frame rates.
Oh man.
All right, so
Listen, I know that
Is
whole
Shane-
thing about Joey having laptops is a lie. He doesn't even know how to turn one
that's what
on.
he just said. I got 0 laptops.
Shane's supposed to hear.
So
Shane, it's on.
speaking of Joey, so 1v1 at James the other week.
Let's get
Yeah, so Joey, my understanding was the original
He was.
challenger, right, for the
Yeah, so
belt.
Joey had the belt. He beat Jason Land
Right.
on Murray.
Yep.
And then Shane challenged Joey on Murray.
Yep. And won the
We're
belt.
supposed to go to Greenwood.
You
but
live.
they're fighting too well on Murray.
You're live.
But now Joey and continuing on with that, Joey did not show because he had work, but
That's right.
literally the entire day we were in the boat, Joey commented on every live session.
Well, you know, there's work.
And
there's
Joey
not
called
work.
me like twice.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was a work thing or I can't throw an A-rig thing. I don't know. Maybe Joey will throw that. I don't know. Maybe
Scared.
he'll address that. Yeah, I don't know if it was fear. I know he did a lot of prep. I seen the video where he was like, had the life jacket time and thing, and he was.
Well, he's
So-
definitely. He told me he was going to hold his. And Shane, you need to hear this too. I guess you probably already know, but he said he was going to. Joey was going to hold his re-challenge in his pocket.
Okay. Until what? Until I decide to go back and let Murray so he ain't scared?
I don't know. You have to work it out with him.
Is he in the pooper?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
A lot of echo. in there.
There's a lot of echoing. Lots of echo.
I hate it. I'm sorry, I'm in a bar.
Todd took him behind the woodshed.
You know
Turned
what they
him up
say.
a little bit.
You lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas, right?
So let's talk about the 1v1. We got Shane now. So y'all went to Lake James, fished against Josh. Josh Goode. Does he go by? Is it like Joshua or Josh?
It's Josh,
Okay.
and
Goode.
as Pug has now recoined it, Goode,
Goode.
No.
but it's actually good.
It's the same difference.
I thought
I
it was
thought
goody.
it was good too.
I
It's
thought it was-
good.
I thought it was goody.
We're just gonna call him Josh.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Or Lamont.
Or Fish
Lamont.
Care. I
Lamont
think somebody
works.
tagged him Fish Care.
Fish
while we
Care,
were
yeah.
Fish care.
So,
Fish care is not a good name to have.
No.
so Shane, you edged out Josh by, what was it, 11 pounds? He had 9?
Edged him out a bit by 3 pounds.
9 plus?
And we did not assess the penalties to,
Oh, he had dead fish.
It was 9.06
to 11.75.
11.75.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you didn't edge him out. You beat him. Okay.
Whooped
So what?
So what?
So what? I mean, I didn't get to watch a whole lot of it. Were the fish on the bed? Josh is getting mad at David again.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Kyle, stop looking at the comments, Kyle. You're distracting the whole show. Yep.
So Shane, what'd you do to catch a fish? What was going on at Lake James?
Tell David to be nice to Josh.
I am being nice to Josh.
God.
Oh.
So what was happening, Shane, at Lake James?
Not a whole lot of anything, really.
Was it tough?
A little bit of side fish, a little bit of crankbait, a little bit of Ned rigging. The Ned rigging all went on before we got on the air because Sleepyhead over there didn't show up.
Yeah, we cold them fish. I feel like we cold the Ned rig fish.
No, we did not.
Oh.
We made 4 smallmouth.
So here's my question about Lake James. The big fish we seen, because we seen big fish roaming around. Even some of them that looked like they were locked on or they weren't moving. But do you think those fish are catchable now or after this moon, like they're locked on the bed, or what's the deal?
Man, I don't know. I think those fish were trying to get up there. Some of them were already up there. Some of them had done come and gone, but I don't know, man. It's just one of them things where there's all kinds of stuff going on. You really just don't know.
Yeah.
I know this for a fact. If we put all the fish we saw together and all the fish y'all saw together, we probably could have done about 35
Yeah, it'd have
pounds.
been an epic showdown. Like, I mean, it would have been
Mega bag.
Yeah.
Hey, Lake James has got them. It's kind of a sleeper lake. It just don't get a lot of attention because of where it's located at.
Yep.
There's not a lot of big tournaments up there, but there's a lot of big fish in there. Guys that live up there, Kelly Logan and Jimbo Ball. I got to give old Jimbo a shout out. He kind of turned me on to the crankbait pattern over there the other day. And, I wound up catching a bunch of my fish on. And, them guys fish up there all the time. They kind of know what's going on, and they get to catch a lot of those big smallmouth.
Yep.
For whatever reason, the big smallmouth didn't show up at all. I mean, I was kind of surprised about that, especially first thing in the morning. And you usually have about an hour to hour and a half to catch a big one or two on top. And I don't know, they just never showed up for me. So, anyway.
Chris Marshall says you should have fished in the wind.
We did.
Did you?
Yes.
Chris Marshall said what?
Should have fished in the wind.
I did fish in the wind.
Yep.
Didn't get any bites.
Yep.
Had to get out of the wind to get bit.
That's a fact.
I love all these armchair quarterbacks. Everybody.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know what you should have done. I should have caught 25 pounds.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I tried, but it just didn't happen.
We seen it.
We caught 12 and we won, so that's all.
Well, it's just like, the story Joey told when we only caught 2 fish. He said, the fish bit and I won. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Winning's winning.
That's right.
So, David, you were with Josh all day.
I was.
What was he focusing on?
Well, he started out running topwater, and he got bites right off the rip. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be good. And then I think we kind of mixed in a little bit of tree fishing, and then went sight fishing. And again, he saw fish, he caught fish. It just he couldn't get
Yeah,
the big ones to cooperate.
yeah.
Yeah, for the guys that have never been to Lake James, that place can be really overwhelming because when you go up there, there's docks, but
No, it's trees.
it's like cliffs and
Blow down.
pine tree, and
Yeah.
it's like a continuous. I mean, if you could make riprap out of pine trees, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
And when you come 10 feet off the bank, you're 20 feet deep. I mean, it is a straight vertical place. At least the Linville side is. It can be very challenging if you've never been there before.
Yep.
Especially when you can look down and see a smallmouth sitting in the top of a pine tree over 25 foot of water, and he's up 5 foot.
Yeah.
On the top of the pine tree, you have no idea how to catch him. So
It looks like it's 2 foot deep, but the fish is in like 8.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it's
crazy.
a beautiful lake. Did y'all hear any turkeys gobbling?
Nope.
No,
No
we didn't
turkeys.
hear him.
No. I hooted and shot called one time, but it
I
didn't
could have heard
trigger
some
any.
turkeys going. Just saying.
I
You
do
could
want
hurt
to tell Josh one thing. He set the record on the top speed for a buzzbait.
He did set that record.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the buzz bait, the
I'm telling you right now, that boy burned. He's talking about burning the blades off.
uh-huh.
Well, that's a good testament for old John's buzzbaits too. Like he put some pretty good swivels and
The bearings of those
bees
things.
and bearings
Yeah.
in that
Hey,
thing.
man,
boy, because
they were biting it.
they was
Dude, I'm telling
it
you,
was tuned up.
He caught them on
if
that
one
thing.
ate that thing, there's no way he didn't catch it.
Mm-mm.
Because if he got to it, he had to eat it. But
He was an athletic fish if he ate it.
yeah, the
Well,
blades weren't in the water. The frog was. The blades were just spinning in the wind.
And super cool water, you can't let him get a good look at it. Y'all know that.
Yeah, he was rolling that buzz bait now.
Shane, Randy Tellsall said that you did have Pug spotting fish for you all day, and he
No,
thought that was
this
illegal.
One time he said there, well, I mean, he called out a whole bunch of fish, but every time he seen a fish, there's a fish, there's a fish. Well, we all seen a bunch of fish.
Everybody see fish.
Let's put it this way, none of the fish that Bud said there's a bass ever came in the boat.
Right, that's a fact.
Once he caught, he did catch 2 or 3.
Shane kept passing my fish over, so I caught a couple of them. But I threw them back.
Hey, now the real truth comes out.
Nah, Josh,
27 1-1 is what Josh said it is.
His real
That's
speed.
what
Oh
I
yeah,
said.
he's 27 1-1. It has to be, bro.
it's souped up.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
straight 1-to-1, full time.
Hey, I want to tell you right now, if someone ccame out with a 27-1 reel, people would buy it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I remember when what is it? What, Abu Garcia or something came out with the rocket and it was an 8-1. Now everybody's
it's a
got an
10-1.
8-1. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's like a thing now. The faster the reel, the better. I will say this: you have no torque
No.
on a reel that fast.
Well, it's just like your old 10-speed bike when you were a kid.
Yep.
The higher gears you went up, the faster it was, but the harder it was to pedal.
So Shane, what do you think about the next 1v1?
Hang on a second. Josh said he needed a co-angler, and I can tell you this: I did not cast at all during the day.
You did not.
I did not. I sat next sunflower seeds,
might
beef
be
jerky,
you
and
might be the first camera boat guy that ever
Drink
made
water.
casts in a 1v1.
I didn't, dude. I'm okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm severely ADD, and for me, looking at that many fish and not like I snuck a rod off of Shane's deck, and then the next thing he turned around, he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know."
Y'all ever spend a day in the boat with JoJo crack in?
Starts twitching.
I couldn't stand it anymore, so I caught a few behind him, but we didn't weigh them. I promise you, we did not catch any of those.
Rob Blackman. They did not have too many fish in the boat. They did not. They had 5 and we had 5.
That's not Rob. That's Joey.
And
Joey's
all
logged
along
out.
we're alive.
Josh Goode said sleepyhead self-centered.
See, Joey logged
Oh.
out.
Sorry, man.
It's okay. I can take it, man. I understand it.
I mean,
Hey, man, you came forward.
I did. I'm being honest.
Uh-oh.
Shane came forward. And I
Shane?
went with it.
Josh says he needs a rematch.
Oh God.
He's
I-
got to wait.
You gotta win one to get a rematch. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, you get a rematch.
But you know
if
what?
hold
I
the
still
belt.
have a.
No, you got the poop slap out of me twice.
Nah, you got.
I won it 3 times. I got 3.
Graceland beat you twice.
Yeah. But it wasn't like. But I got 3. I won it 3 times. I'm the longest belt holder still to this day.
Don't you have to sign it every time you lose it?
Yeah, he's the only
Yeah.
man that signed it twice.
Who?
You.
No.
No, don't push name.
Jason Lane got.
You signed, you
No.
signed it twice. You signed it twice.
Jason
I
Lane
did
got you
sign.
twice.
He did get me twice.
You the only man that signed it twice.
Okay. Which
I'm just
one?
saying- I'm just saying.
I won 3 times to get there.
You want your opportunity to sign it?
God no.
You want your opportunity to sign it?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You hear that, Shane?
What?
Kyle said he wants his opportunity to sign it.
That's fine.
That sounds like our next challenger right
All right.
there.
You got a boat?
We gonna make this official?
Oh, ain't a boat.
You gonna fish out the bank?
I'll rent one.
Kyle's got access to a boat.
Oh, I know.
I've seen him in it a whole bunch.
He's just got to drive up to Morganton to get it.
All right, we got our next challenger right there.
Well, while you're in Morgan, we'll just stay at the back of Lake James.
Oh, gosh.
Years for years versus
I'll tell you where you
Lineberger.
I'll tell you where you guys need to go after this past weekend. Shane, when are you gonna be back?
Sunday.
Monday, he's gonna make the Sunday cut.
Then I'm only home for a week.
All right. So middle of June.
It's gonna be a little while.
Okay.
I ain't giving nothing up over there. You damn crazy.
Oh, you're thinking high rock.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kyle don't want to do high rock.
Yeah, Kyle had about 6 spinner rods he done borrowed from 6 people. Throwing them weenie worms.
You'll catch him. All right. So high rocks out.
I don't care.
Well, you gonna let the people vote on it again?
You can go wherever. I don't care.
Go wherever. All right, Shane. Kyle's in.
Okay.
Middle of June.
Jimbo's got a prop too. We found a prop. We slung an ear Saturday, so we good now.
Uh-oh.
Need a pro versus Joe 2v2.
We'll go to.
We've already got a potential 2 versus 2 challenge brewing. We just got to see how it pans out.
Who's that? Where's that?
Huh? I can't speak on it.
Normally be a good place. To
I
go.
cannot speak on it quite yet.
This ain't top. Nobody's losing money over this.
No, I'm just not. No. Shane knows.
Nobody's gonna lose no money, but somebody might get their feelings hurt.
That's a fact.
We ain't got feelings.
See ya. That's how I told you.
Some people do though.
Some people do.
Told you Rob's not Joey. See, it's the last time people voted, it didn't matter because that was Greenwood and we went to Murray. That ain't Joey.
Yep.
That's Dalton. They got the same. Man, y'all.
I don't know who it is.
You'll figure it out.
All right.
But we did not go to Greenwood. They flipped it on the, I don't know, a week before, something like that.
Water would be a good place.
There's a CBC in Watery in June.
Yeah.
First week of June.
Water would be fun. I rock would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be real fun in June. Hotter it gets, the better it gets.
I love that black trick worm over there.
Shane, where you want to go?
I don't know. I have to think on it.
They're gonna go to Fishing Creek. They just don't know it yet.
Ugh.
Not going to
Hell no.
Stumpy Pond be good.
Ugh.
Stumpy Pond be good.
Where?
Stumpy Pond? Between Fishing Creek and Watery.
Listen, I done tore my boat up enough. I don't need to do
Yeah, well, don't get it fixed before the challenge.
I'm about to buy a lower unit of prop tomorrow.
My vote didn't even get counted. Rob, who'd you vote for? I'm not sure what. Oh, so Ronnie Mueller so there was a question that Jeff Murray asked about. So there was a big bass tournament this past weekend on Lake Murray, and I heard the guy got DQ'd after he caught the big fish.
Oh, Lord, it was one person?
Yep, and it was because he did not pass the lie detector, but he's made very public that it was because he didn't wear his kill switch.
No
So-
way, really.
Jimbo's done that.
Man,
About $1,700. Forgot to put a slide jacket on.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
know-
Jimbo. I ain't forgot about it.
that's one of them things that happens real fast and is a mistake. and you know, before the rumors fly or anything, that's what happened. It was over a kill switch. It wasn't, you know, snagging fish off the bed or, you know, where everybody's mind goes immediately.
Mm.
So,
that is,
man, I'm sick for the guy. I don't know who it is. I don't know the gentleman or who it was that would have won, but I can feel his pain for losing.
You know what? At
over
least he got in front of it and owned it and didn't try to deny it like so many people have in the past.
Sure. So,
Casey really wants to know how's the fishing at Neely Henry.
it sucks.
Oh Lord.
It sucks. That's how.
well, it's only the first day, isn't it?
I was gonna say we've been there like in 3/4 of the day. It rained and thundered and lightning.
And then you tore your lower unit off on the fourth quarter.
I tore my lower unit up at Sabine.
Oh.
Then I tore my boat up at Fort. And then I ran over a 2x6 today and got the prop.
Well, as long as the trolling motor works, you
Hey,
get
that 2x6 costs more than the prop. You need
I
to pick
know.
it up and sell it.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's no joke. I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked at 2x4s at Lowe's. My wife and I have been doing stuff around. I looked $7.91 for a 2x4 now.
Sheet of OSB's like 30.
For a 2x4 $7.91.
You know how much a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood goes right now?
$100.
$100.
Yeah, it's $100. OSB board like
A sheet of plywood.
11/32 OSB's like almost $40. It's like 37 and some change.
For OSB.
Yeah, that's the stuff they sweep up on the floor at the mill
Yeah,
and make a
press
piece of
those
plywood
glue on it.
together. It's like almost $40. So.
That's all.
Yep.
We got all the Johnsons
We're all
on here tonight.
They
All right.
They log out.
What
And
they
log
do? They
on.
quit making trees or something?
I think it's the building market around here is so high they figure they can price gouge too.
They're still cutting them down in South Carolina. I know that.
Stop. Just
Fireball's
talk to Keith
wide open.
Porter.
Listen, I had 10 cut down at my house this weekend.
Did you sell?
I paid the guy to come cut the trees down so they didn't fall in the house, and then tornado blew through today after I got the trees down, so I felt pretty good about it.
Then he resold the trees for mulch.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Tripled his money.
Sounds like a pretty good business plan to me.
Jason Land must have bad service. He is watching like 17 times. It must be logging him out.
He's just
logging him
getting y'all more
Maybe he
views.
just really likes it.
He's getting y'all more views.
Hey, we need something.
out. So let's talk about shad spawn.
I think
Let's do it.
Shane, you jumping off? Or you staying on?
What?
You jumping off? Or you staying on?
I'll hang around just a little bit longer.
All right.
We're gonna talk about the shad spawn, Shane.
Like a hair and a biscuit.
I'm trying to figure out why Rob Blackman said I made money this weekend. I'm trying to figure that out. Because I drove to High Rock, cost me $50 in fuel.
That's it.
I fished all day and came back home, and I still ain't seen a check yet.
Well, I ain't seen the check yet either. Have you, Kyle?
No, I didn't get a check. I was
You stayed for yours?
I saw a small check. Yeah.
Did you stay for yours?
a small check. That's what happens when you jump from second to fourth. Money goes.
We've lost
Way
a lot
down.
of money not having a skeeter over there. Just at that lake. I think we figured up it was like 10 or 12 grand. Just a high rock.
It's a good bit of money.
I'll sell you one.
No.
Buy all of it. You buy it all.
You ain't gonna find another one right now.
I might be done. You never know.
I know two buck
That, we
dealerships
know that
that
ain't
have-
happening.
They don't have nothing on the show.
I actually threatened my father the other day to sell it all and go back to the ocean.
Oh.
That's a long drive.
They and logged in 4 times.
I fish are bigger, less people to have to compete with for spots.
When you talking about not wanting to drive far from Cleveland Lake Wiley, why the heck you gonna drive the ocean then?
Because I can go eat those fish.
You can eat them out here too.
No,
You can get
sir.
those at Food Line.
Thanks.
Yeah, the cost of those is a lot more though.
It's
I don't by the
No
time your
way.
diesel fuel
You buy
and
$150,000 boat to go fish in the ocean.
I remember Russ telling that
$7,000
story.
rod
Oh,
reel.
it's a fact. When you sit down and do the math, there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah, Russ told me he paid what $250,000 a year for a hole in the for a boat slip or something down there.
Oh yeah,
You better say a hole in the water.
Hole in
wouldn't
the
you?
water. That's what that's
it's
what I
a
think
mortgage payment.
Yeah.
$750 a month.
It's like deer meat, son. The highest price meat there is.
Shane, Jason Lamb wants to do a 4v4, $100 a man.
I'm in.
What's
I'm in.
a 4v4?
I'll do that.
Four men versus four men.
4 individuals.
No, 2-man teams. Jason Land, where at?
Well, are you kidding me? You know he's gonna say bait.
You know,
Tuckertown. That's where y'all need to go.
I've passed Jason about 4 times at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning going down the road. He might have got a certain finger every time. And I told him the other day when I passed him going to High Rock, he looked like Harry and Henderson. He about fell out of the truck.
That's where y'all need to go, Kyle. Tuckertown.
Oh, it could be Tuckertown could be good for about another couple of weeks. Then it's gonna be
All right, so we got some questions about the CBC.
1 man per boat. Okay.
1 man per boat, so it's 4 boats.
1 versus 4 or whatever.
Well, it'd
Then,
be
then you
combined
gotta
boat.
then you gotta have 4 people to do cameras per
Yeah,
team.
that's too much trouble.
There ain't no service at Tuckertown.
I mean,
We're just gonna have to.
Jason don't have that many friends either.
no.
We're just gonna have. We just have to have a camera boat. We get on them. They have to call them.
I don't know. We're gonna have to polish that plan a little bit. That's a piece of charcoal right now. We can turn it into a diamond, but it's gonna take a little bit of pressure and a whole bunch of years.
2 on 2 be fun.
That's pretty good, sir.
That rolled off pretty good right
Yeah,
now.
that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm impressed. Where's Harriet? I ain't seen Harriet.
I'm
safe.
surprised she hadn't popped on tonight. It's Miss Winters. Just do that.
This winter,
Yes,
slap me in the back of the head.
she will.
All right, somebody's asking about High Rock, Kyle. Where'd it go?
That's it.
What did you have at High Rock?
20 pounds. 20 pounds. A whopping 20 pounds. Not on a spinning rod.
Not on a spinning rod? I can't say the same.
No.
Carl Carson, what's up, little buddy?
1 camera.
While he's on here, I'm gonna leak something. There is gonna be a frog tournament coming up very, very soon in June.
Right.
I don't know all the details. I know this. There is an individual who's gonna throw a frog tournament. Frog only. Period.
Just a frog or
Yep.
like a spro frog?
It's a spro frog. You pay the entry fee. The frogs will be provided to you, and it'll be on watery sometime in the month of June.
Can't bring your own spro frog?
No, they're gonna be provided to you
Can
because
you
Bring all
manipulate
my
your...
tools.
I think you'll be able to manipulate them the morning of.
Those are a lot of fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Well, at the end of the day, the questions go down.
Yeah.
Catch them on.
Yeah, exactly. They give you and your partner
And then
5 frogs, and you can trim the skirt or bend the hook a little bit or add rattles, and that's about it.
Speaking of frogs, we got 2 right here.
Yeah, we need to get on the shad spawn deal. Man.
We do.
That's the
Yeah, y'all
deal.
start talking about shad spawn, it went way south.
Yeah,
We didn't ever start. Sorry, Shane.
We've been in the ocean and everywhere else, they ain't talking about shad spawn yet.
And you're still eating the Doritos.
Nope, I'm eating great.
Oh, okay. I'm proud of you.
Dang.
That's healthy.
All right, so everybody probably knows this time of the year, the bass coming off the bed. Right now, there's a lot of bass still on the bed.
There are a lot of bass still on the bed.
About halfway through the spawn, 3/4 of the way, you start seeing all these nighttime tournaments kick up. The shad are definitely, when the weights start going up high in the night tournaments, the shad are starting to spawn.
Except for a Wiley.
Except for
It
a while.
still takes 12 pounds or
Well, that's
less.
just the size of the fish.
Or less.
So the shad spawn, I don't know. You guys help me out here. Somewhere in the mid-60s is when they start, right? No.
Wait, I'm
No.
still over here trying to figure this out.
mid to late 60s. Yeah,
Mid late 60s.
Yep. I say late, high 60s,
High
mid to
60s.
high 60s.
And there's a bunch of what different people call shad. So around here we've got thread fins, we got gizzards, we got herring in the mid-state of South Carolina and the lowlands. And we actually got a bunch of alewives up here too.
Yep.
So
But they all spawn in different places.
They do.
really and truly.
And
They
at
do.
different times, a lot of times.
that's right.
Yep.
When people say shad spawn, they kind of lump all. Well, you'll hear the herring bite, but typically gizzard, shad, thread fins, and alewives, they kind of talk about them all the same.
Yep.
And they're very, very drastically different. So the most common that you'll see is the threadfin shad is what I'll say. When you ride up to riprap or anything hard, it almost looks like it's raining shad out of the water. You'll see them flipping up and basically sticking their goodies to anything that's hard. A good way to find it in the morning when you're riding down the lake, if you see 4 or 5 blue herons all together,
Little cricket bird.
that means those birds hate each other.
But they're all happy when they're eating.
But they're all happy when the shad spawn's going on. That's a good place to go look. Your grass lakes, you'll see them on the edge of the grasses. Like out here on Lake Wiley, which is what I'm most familiar with. Riprap, dock floats, even your own boat, if you get in it, they will spawn on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of ways to catch them. We got a lot of baits up here, but one thing you will see a common in all of it is white. One of the probably that's caught the most fish ever on the shad spawn is probably a spinnerbait, because it's pretty easy. You throw it out and you wind it back.
Mm-hmm.
The one I have here, David, I don't know if do you have these on your website?
I don't know if those are on there or not.
Okay. This comes out of Georgia, right? Around Lake Lanier?
Yes.
What's it called?
Spot sticker.
So I just grabbed this because this specific spinnerbait, specific, has white blades on it. It's the only one that I found over there, which typically means it's probably happening because everybody's buying white blade spinnerbaits. Can't see it real well. I typically like to have bigger blades around here because the shad are a lot bigger, but your typical spinnerbait stuff comes into play.
They're not up there. They're in the store, but they're not up there.
You want to try to match the hatch with your blades.
So another cool thing about what you're saying there, a lot of times when you see the shad spawn, you're gonna see these little tiny shad flipping up on the bank, right?
Yep.
The bigger shad generally don't get up all the way and flip all over the rock. So don't confuse matching the hatch with I need to throw something real tiny with the little shad that's flipping all over the bank.
That's right. That's a great point. And typically faster moving baits too, right?
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Kyle, I know you fish shad spawn all day. I know you fish the.
I don't.
You do it, Mike.
I don't.
I
I gotta call Kyle to get advice on what to do. So
I pulled out 2 white frogs here.
I just changed.
This is this is a mega bass frog. David does have these in the store. I know you probably can't see it too well. And
you know what? I keep forgetting.
how do you say that? Big gabbit. Big gabbit. That's a big frog.
Mm-hmm.
If you go check out Pug Clement's Fish, you might see one big one with the white frog sticking in its face from this past weekend.
Did you lose one?
No, I put it in the boat.
And then this one, I haven't seen this frog in a long time. These are hard to find, aren't they?
Swamp donkeys.
The Reaction Innovation frog. Again, it's white. So white's a common theme, and the other 2 baits I got are wake baits. For you nighttime guys, this is kind of a staple of the Carolinas for one. It used to be one of the best kept secrets. Now I think it's one of the worst kept secrets.
Listen, I can tell you, I've watched the wake bait. I got brought in on it. Not real early in my fishing, but early enough that it was still good.
Last year.
Last year, yeah, last year. No, and everybody, the guys that knew, and they were throwing wake baits, and Spro came out with the rat. I'm like, why wouldn't they bite this?
Yep, they did.
And guess what? They did.
Yep.
For about 1.5 years, 2 years, and now it's like every other wake bait, a dime a dozen.
Then Tater all ruined it all.
Yeah, with the moonshiner.
The only problem, and again, I'm not knocking Tater's bait here, but for me, when I fish a wake bait, I want to be able to turn it. I want to be able to fish it fast. Taters, you can't fish it fast. It likes to dive. I mean, it's a great bait. It just, I like a wake bait that you
You
can.
got to manipulate that bill a little bit.
Oh,
That'll be on the behind the scenes information.
okay.
There's a new plug I threw
There's some
2 weeks ago.
Japanese.
I actually saw it on Facebook about 12 o'clock in the morning.
The headbanger.
Yeah.
Uh huh. You
So,
got sucker too.
Those are pretty good.
Dude, they ain't sucker to that. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is kind of cool.
It's
You can burn it.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
It's, it does its thing.
The only I've got. Listen, trust me. I know. I've got 8 of them. I got sucker too. I bought 8 of them.
I also have a pair of camouflage shorts that I bought on Facebook, and they are not nowhere near camouflage.
That's
you get
some
them off
Wish.com
Got them
stuff.
off a Wish.
I don't know what it was. When they came in, and my wife asked me, she said, "Can I open this?" And I said, "Yeah." And it looks like giraffe print. It's terrible. I was like, "Yeah, throw them in the trash."
Well, if you didn't notice, that's why the camera's
Here's another wake bait too. Strike King. They did last year. Last year they did this KVD 2.5 wake bait, and it's flown under the radar. I mean, it's kind of crazy that guys haven't jumped on that train.
It's a May bait. I'm moving out.
It's a coming now bait. That's what it is.
Yeah, so all these are, so we got 2 bloody thumbs here. This is actually
Excalibur,
a XPS, the one they don't make anymore, right?
XCR.
XCR?
Yep.
I said XPS, that's Bass Pro Show.
Yep.
That's my bad. These
And
things were great when Excalibur made them, but Brian fixed the problem with them when they quit making them. The bills will break off of them for no reason at all.
And that one you will take some abuse.
You can wind this as fast as you want to.
It's thick.
It is thick.
Yep, that's a big old wide wobbling wake bait.
Either you stink or I stink. There's
So-
flies everywhere.
So as far as like it's a lot of baits, right? So the frog itself, like Santee, is full of grass. Shad like to spawn in the grass, hard grass, like hard stem with big roots. Like a lot of the grass there's got viney type root systems to it. I'm not talking about like mushy gator grass is what I'm getting at. So the frog works really well there. It may work here, like around docks and stuff, but it probably doesn't work as well as it does at Santee. But like depending on what type of shad that are spawning is going to depend on the size, right, and the action of the bait you want. So I'm sure a lot of people watch Lake Fork. So that was a gizzard shad spawn, right? And I think Kyle's got a bait down here that you seen guys throwing big wake baits, right? So gizzard shad are huge. So they were trying to match the hatch in that regard. So they were throwing big baits. Lee Livesey was throwing grapple hooks on a massive czar spoon, right? So like trying to match that hatch of the gizzard shad. So
Yeah, so that's a
Chris
big glide bait.
What was Chris throwing? He's throwing on taters.
tater
Yeah,
bait,
yeah,
yep.
it was out there. He actually
Hog
called him
father.
out. Hog father right on live.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I heard Tater put him back online. I think he's got 36 of them to make.
He's probably not going to be fishing much the rest of the summer.
Well, I can
No,
tell
he
you
probably
this.
will. Just people won't get their baits.
If he's going to the Classic at Ray Roberts, I hope he has about
Yeah.
25 of them things to go down there.
Well, he did that when was it for Fort Loudon Teleco? Man, he sold all of them in an hour.
Yep. But I think the Great Outdoors sold out of those last year too. I was talking to Jason about it the
Hog
other day.
Farm?
Yeah, they sold out at last year's Classic. So, but I guess I'm saying that so people don't like if you go out and buy a bunch of those huge glide baits. If you're not on lakes that have
Large fish.
big gizzard shad, right, that are spawned, like that's not the thing. You know what I mean? So it's
It is fun to throw that big giant thing though and watch.
the ooh bait.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, if you've never thrown a big bait, it will show you the biggest fish in the lake.
Yep.
And by show you,
Yeah.
I mean it most likely will follow it and
It'll
not
make-
bite it.
Yeah, it'll
And
make
you'll
you
go
mad.
ooh ooh
Yeah.
ooh.
It'll make you
No.
mad too. Like it's a lot of lakes around here. It's one of those you've got to like we did Saturday. We had 20 pounds real early in the morning. It's something you can pull out the rest of the day, and you can take the gamble where you've got the rest of the day to throw.
It's
a big
one
plug.
bite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You get them in the boat or you don't, and like you'll see a lot of oohs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys didn't. It's PG related or PG rated, so you didn't follow what comes after the ooh ooh ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually 30 minutes of casting to that dock and that
Yeah.
fish not biting, but yeah. So,
So we got some other stuff down here. Top water's always good. We always, I mean, we
Derek,
went with top
Derek,
water all
Derek
the way.
Lilly mentioned a red fin.
Yep.
And those have become a little harder to get. So that's what that is
This is
a
actually
good replacement for.
Yeah, so this used to be, I don't know what he calls it now. It used to
It's
be
a
called the
Superman.
Superman, right? Or the Super Wake.
It was a
Also
Superman.
the Superman. This is a bad deal right here.
That's good on. It's like they used to take a what is it, a long egg. You heat a piece of metal up on like with a lighter, bend the bill, and do that.
Yep.
That was kind of an old deal. Now that kind of replaced that, so you don't have to mess with it as much. You can buy it out of the box. You can buy it in the box.
I'll say this. So if you watch national tournaments over the years, I was talking to a guy from Texas about this the other day. Like regardless of where that tournament is, it seems like if there's a shad spawn going on, somebody in the Carolinas seems to figure out that bite before other people. Because like,
Well, I was looking for it. We ain't got
yeah,
grass.
exactly. It's just like, oh, shad spawn, we're going to catch him.
Yep. We're
sure.
gonna find the easiest way to catch them.
Yep.
But what else you got down there? Got chatterbaits.
Yeah, so it's funny. Like we were all kind of going through a store a minute ago, and we kind of got a little collection of this and that. And we all were like, "Should we put this out there? Should we not?" Everybody kind of grabbed the same type baits. Some are a little similar, some are a little different, but for the most part, it's frog, wake bait, chatterbait, glide bait, jig. We all apply them at different lakes at different times of year, so it's kind of funny to see everybody run around the store kind of, no, let's not put that out there.
Might as well throw this one out there. So you good with it? Can I do it?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
So like this one is probably, I know it's my favorite, like on the shad spawn deal. So like early in the morning they're flipping all over the rocks, and as the sun come out you don't see it anymore, but it's still going on, right? So it's still happening under the floats, underneath the water. So just like a straight white archy head style jig with some type of trailer, chunk, whatever that has motion. So basically what you're going to do is swim this jig. And if you got dead legs on the back like a big salty, it's not going to make a lot of action in the water. So this is a Zoom super chunk, Zoom Fat Albert, Twin Tail. There's like a ton of different trailers out there. So you got a Strike King Menace, you got a Z-Crawl.
Biz Baits, local guy
Yep,
makes some.
Biz Baits
Yeah,
has got
gutter
the,
crawl's really good.
Yep. So something that's gonna make some action and swimming that deal on their float seems to work really well in this area.
And
Norman,
see
Wiley.
that cutter crawl is like a Super Chunk Junior, which they don't make anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's identical to it.
So, if you do ride around and you don't see shad flipping anywhere, another good way to tell. This is with herring and gizzards and hellwise the whole 9 yards. Any kind of bait fish. Well, I guess if you want to lump brim in there, that don't really count. But if you throw your junk out there and you wind it back and it comes back with a ball of them following it,
They're
you're
spawning.
in the middle of the spawn.
Yep.
We saw that at Clarksville that year.
Yeah,
Hey,
stupid.
Listen, I watched it at High Rock from blast off until 11:30, 12 o'clock. They were still following it.
Same thing on grass lakes. You put a frog in the grass, and if shad start flipping all over your frog, like when you pull it in the hole, that's an area that the shad spawn's going on. It's the same deal. So. Yep.
Yeah, and the gizzards, a lot of times you'll end up snagging them suckers because they're like,
Yep.
Catch them in the signs, think you
Yeah.
got a 3-4 pounder.
Yeah.
So you brought up water temperature earlier, talking about when shad spawn starts.
Would depend on what type of shad. Like LY might start way earlier.
Well, I was gonna say
the
gizzard shad.
definitely do.
Gizzard shad typically start around 60 degrees.
Yeah.
And then
I've got big whatever I'm trying to say.
Pre-spawn
Pre-spawn
bass.
fish
Yeah.
in the wintertime. It's still wintertime temperatures, high 50s, mid-high 50s.
choked up on gizzard shad.
And they'll have big giant fork tails sticking out of their throat. And you go down the bank, catch another one, same thing. It's like, especially out here, there's not many gizzards left. That's
You know what's
pretty
funny?
common occurrence.
Yeah.
Probably in the middle.
You
of
say
gizzard
there's
shad
not a lot
spawn.
left. This year I saw a gizzard shad spawn better than I've seen it in the last several years. I think there's still a lot out here. A lot more than people give it credit for.
I think the gizzard shads at Wiley are bigger than some of the bass.
Well, I can tell you this: at Lake Norman,
Yeah.
Nothing's
the
going
world
anywhere.
record gizzard shad, I can guarantee you, swims in Lake Norman.
I would attest to that.
You go down to Ramsey, you see a big giant black ones, think they're catfish.
Yep.
They're a gizzard shad.
So what's your favorite shad spawn bait? You're gonna pick it up first when you go to any lake.
If it's real low light, I like to throw something that moves. So the shad spawn for me, it's real easy to catch them in the shad spawn in low light situations. So when you take off in a tournament, you're against the clock because there ain't a whole lot of low light situations left, unless it's cloudy or the wind will extend it, stuff like that. But I mean, first 30 minutes, it's real important. And if you don't get on the first 30 minutes, then you are doing other things, away from the bank to try to catch them. So from the beginning in the morning, I like to throw something that I can wind real fast and cover a whole lot of water. If that means it's a buzz bait or a spinnerbait or a chatterbait or a swim bait, something that I can cover a whole lot of water with. And I mean, when it's shad spawn time for me, I'll have all those laying on the deck.
What's your backup?
I swim a jig. Yeah, I like to swim a jig. I've caught a lot of big fish on a square bill too. Believe it or not, we don't have one laying up here.
A white speed trap has taken a lot of money in
KVD
shad
1.5,
spawn.
KVD 2.5, any kind of square bill you can run, hard clay points.
I like an old Lucky Crafts. What is it? A Big Daddy Strike?
Yeah, VDS is a good bait. I mean, the good thing about the shad spawn is, I think the bass kind of know that's going to run out too. and I mean, when you get on it first thing in the morning, when they're in it, it ain't real hard to catch them. You got to throw something white and it's got to move. Josh, fast, but probably not 27-1 gear ratios, but fast.
So what about areas that you're looking for? Main lake versus pockets versus creeks?
I always find them on the main lake. But that being said, I'm trying to maximize my fishing time.
Yeah.
And most of the lakes we take our off around here, the tournament ramp is on the main lake.
Yep.
So I'm going to the closest place that's flat, hard, and has a blue heron stand on it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is easy one. I mean, this is easy stuff to
I
find.
feel like it's situational.
Yeah.
For the lake.
Yeah.
Some of the lakes are it's back of the creek. Depending on how the spawn's going. If it's a delayed spawn
Sure.
with a bass, it's very situational. You can go to one lake and it's all main lake. You go to the other one, it's back of the creek. It might be pockets. It could be a lot affects it. Wind. These cold nights, we've had a real crazy winter this year, spring, where you might have a frost.
Yeah, like
1 week.
48 degrees when you
It's
blast
48
off.
Saturday and the wind's
Yeah.
blowing.
It might be 88 degrees for 2 days, and then you get a frost. It's just been, weird.
You guys didn't even talk about a walking bait. Walking bait can be very good too.
Yeah,
main
well,
lake
especially
points
on
is
these-
tremendous. Yeah.
We
Lee
get the
Livesey
herrings.
showed
You
that.
get
Well-
the herring stuff. I mean,
It's
Slightly.
It's not even a herring thing. I mean, right now, so what I found is
that's definitely a herring thing, but it does work for the shad spawn too.
it is a hell. I understand that, but we were talking shad, not herring. There is a difference, despite what people believe. But when it gets cold at night, this can be an effective tool when they're not willing to commit to something fast.
Yep.
It kind of stays a little bit closer to one spot, and they can track a little.
Yeah,
better.
I mean, like literally yesterday, we seen that on Santee. Like, they would not eat a bait like a crankbait. Like we found a gizzard shad spawn yesterday morning on Santee. They would not eat a bait moving through them. Like a jerk bait was like the best way to catch them. Like something like you can see it on the Garmin. That's the actual
That
jerk
is the
bait.
jerk bait.
Yeah, I mean it's just like it. So it's just a white mega bass jerk bait. And you can see them on the Garmin. We run crankbaits, spinner baits, all kind of stuff through them. And you could pause that jerk bait and they would just come running to it.
Yeah.
So it was just a deal with what kind of mood. I think they get so full, like they're not going to chase us sometimes.
I'll tell you right now, them IROC bass, they're just lazy, period.
They're real lazy.
It don't matter if they're hungry or not. If you don't bring them their sandwich, they
Yeah.
ain't gonna eat it. But yeah, so the herring and the LY spawn, so herring or LY look very similar. Actually, if you lay one side by side, I don't think I could tell you the difference in one. I mean, they look almost identical. The LYs, we got a bunch of them out here. You'll see them at night when they spawn. They come up to the water surface and they kind of like boil at the top.
And they don't necessarily, LYs won't necessarily have to run to the rocks to do like a clay stump point or something like
Shell
that,
bed.
or a shell bed.
Yep.
Shallow shell bed can be very deadly.
Yeah, I'm just a weekend warrior. So the shad spawn, real easy to find.
Yeah.
The LY stuff,
It's easy
And
to
the hair
find.
and
You just
stuff.
got to run all of it, and then you hit
typically,
'em.
typically, when I have found a herring spawn, it's because my tournament partner Reed McGinn has gone cast there, or you see striper blowing up on him.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Striper with big fish flying out the water that far.
then I
Baby
know it's
fish
happening
and
over there.
Herring spawn right there.
But they typically use the same general areas to spawn, is the way I understand it. Flat points, clay points.
Chris Marshall, you're right.
those
LYs
types of
do
things.
suck.
Yeah, LYs are no fun. We've talked about this before. Like Murray and Hartwell, you see a lot of schooling fish because they're full of herring. When herring get distressed, is what I would just say, they go to the surface, right? LYs go to the bottom.
Deep.
Yeah.
Norman's got a lot of LY. And fish get really deep on Norman.
That's predominantly what we got here. That's
Yeah.
why these fish are setting out up in 32 foot of water now, and
The fish here are mostly dead.
why that. I agree.
Well,
They
when
got hoof and
thermocline-
mouth disease or
When
something.
the thermocline sets up at about 20 and they go to 36, they're dead.
They
Can't
go.
breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, LY get deep.
And that's why spotted bass seem to be able to take over these lakes around here because they can follow.
Maybe. I know at Norman you can see, like, they spit them up. Like, you catch them out of 60 and they will spit up LY all up in your live wells.
Well, if you reel one up real fast out of 60, they also spit.
Yeah, their
entire
guts.
out.
Yeah,
And
that's
their
a fact.
eyeballs pop out of their head and everything.
Why do you use a spinning rod when you're fishing that deep?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to drag to get them up that
That's right.
fast. Yep.
Yeah, they, the first one I caught, I forget who was with me. I jerked it off the bottom, rounded up real fast. I think it was out of almost 70. And when I got up top of the water, he goes, "You killed that fish." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I looked at the poor thing. His eyes were popping out of his head. And
Yeah.
he'd spit up his entire swim bladder. It's like, no, I feel bad for that one.
Yep.
There wasn't a spot but about that big, but
Blew up.
oh
the
yeah,
bends.
it was bad.
So, what's the best time of year to y'all to, like, because right now I think we got a mix of all kind of crap happening here, right? So you got a bass spawn,
Yep.
you got a shad spawn. There's a little bit of a brim spawn going on. It's just
I think it's early brim spawn.
yeah, like
North
like
Carolina.
just started. Yeah. It's confusing.
Yeah.
You know, there's 50 of them, and then you got fish out there feeding on perch in 30 foot of water, right? So like
I don't know about those.
yeah, so like it's just like how do you zero in on the right thing to do? You fish the shad spawn in the morning and then go do something else. Or you stay with it all day, or
Well, I'll tell you what. When's your next tournament?
the end of June.
Okay, if you figure that out,
You will win. Yeah, that's the thing is making a decision, right? So
and
Yeah.
you can't make that decision the night before. You got to make it on the water
yeah,
at the right
yeah,
time.
Right,
Yeah.
right now, the people that can make decisions properly are the ones that are going to win.
100%.
It ain't right now. It's all the time.
It's- But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is real-time decisions
Yeah.
right now are more crucial than, say, a little bit later
Yeah,
on.
you,
When-
practice is like practice, right? So then you're in the water and you're like, well, this is dying. Do I leave it or do I find it somewhere
Yeah,
else?
well, I mean,
Or,
that's the thing. So you're fishing multi-day tournaments
Yeah.
now, which is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
But even us one-day hitters over here, when's the last time that you found something in practice, went to it the morning of, caught fish off of it, and was able to fish it the entire
Well,
day, and did well?
That's why I like City Seas because everybody's kind of on an even playing field. You really have to fish the conditions. You got to fish the fields. I mean, you might have. Usually the fields are pretty full. Your draw plays a role into it.
That's huge on the shad spawn.
Yeah.
If you're
Well,
about 180.
Yeah.
All
Where the lake
community
puts
holes
out.
are going.
You know where the tournament puts out. You know who typically does it. Some guys just don't even mess with it. They just go fish deep. You know, right off the gate or fish shallow. You know, so there's a lot of, like you said, it's the decisions you make on the water the day of.
Mhm.
Make a big deal. Like we had our fish Saturday by 8:30, and we didn't have a meltdown the rest of the day. But you know, we're kind of sitting with the trophy in your hand, so to speak, going, okay, how can we lose this the rest of the day? You know.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had good decisions out the gate. We just didn't execute.
Same thing happened to
Rest
us.
of it.
Our first two bites, we had, by 7:30, we had two fish in the boat for just over 10 pounds. I was like, man, you know,
You're sitting, you've got the key to the
we
church
got
already.
two bites on something very specific.
Yep.
I was like, man, this might happen. And then all of a sudden the sun got a little bit higher and the wind started blowing harder. And we caught more fish, but they got a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And then we had to, go make some changes on the fly. And it probably took us another, I don't know, hour and a half to get our bite. And we got one bite. We ran that for a while, and that didn't happen. And then the sun got real high and it got slacked off. And then we finished with fry garters.
After the first little deal in the morning, you kind of felt like you had all the opportunity in the world to lose the tournament,
Absolutely.
so to speak.
Yeah.
You have 9 pounds, 2 fish.
I mean, I was, first 2 bites, I was like,
It's
I
hard to win.
I think everybody's here has won something significant, and
Dude, so
I
winning
mean,
a
when
big
things-
tournament,
when you win,
it's-
you can't. There's nothing you can do.
you
to screw it
can't
up.
judge I had a bad day because I didn't win. It's because winning a big, literally, there's a decision at some point during the day that's made by everybody.
Sure.
And the one person that makes that decision correctly is the person that wins that tournament. That and landing the fish that they hook up with, right? So, what is it?
Man, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
One of our biggest fans, Richard. I don't know how you say his last name.
Impotent.
Impotent.
He's impotent. All right. He's picking on me.
Nice picking. I got a bird on my. He said a Firebird shirt. I guess he's
Firebird.
talking about me. I don't know.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I wasn't paying attention. I felt like you with all the smallmouth swimming around at James.
Yeah, ADD, shiny objects everywhere.
But what you were saying, I think what you were saying about decisions.
Winning a tournament just boils down to one
Yeah.
decision in the day. Like if you've got 18, 19 pounds and 22 is going to win,
You got
that's one bite, brother.
That's right.
If you make the right decision to get that bite, you're going to win the Derby. If you don't, you're not. That's just how it is.
You know what though? One thing that nobody's talked about is right now fish care is more crucial than I think even in the summertime.
Oh, shit.
Postpone fish, yeah. They'll
I'm
die
just
quick.
saying.
Well, there was
Yeah.
a guy behind us that had a
He weighed
1962,
in right in front of me.
1982. Like I was
How
like,
many dead fish?
He had a 724 on
And
one.
4 dead as a hammer.
4 dead as a hammer. And I don't know if they clicked their recirc off or what. But
No, I'm gonna tell you
I heard
something.
he turned his live wells off on accident. And then when he realized was
when they're
when
floating.
they caught that 724 and went to put him in the live well.
Mike Jennings and I went to Watery and we fished shad spawn, caught fish, threw a white jig, and turned on and didn't catch another fish till 2 o'clock. I opened the live wells up and like, uh-oh.
Yep.
It's you think you're good, but
Good thing you weren't in a bass tournament. They got the Mike Iaconelli rule. Can't color dead fish.
oh, we were in a bass tournament, but we just and there at that point there was no culling. It is what it is.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying a bass tournament as a largemouth bass. I'm talking about a BASS tournament, like an open, or back when it was a weekend series or an elite event. You cannot color dead fish.
But postpone fish are very stressed.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then when you put them in the live well,
Yes.
and they just tend to die. Like, biggest thing, a little bit of juice, put it on recirc, put some ice in there, and just
But the ice is a fine line right now because
you don't want to
you
overcool it.
can-
Like it's
you can
See,
really
you
hurt
can
some
shock
things.
them.
Last year, we had a BFL at Hartwell, and it was post-spawn, hair spawn deal going on. We had some fish that were struggling, to keep alive. So the next event, we actually called a DNR, and they came in with their restock trucks with oxygen tanks on them,
Mhm.
and that really really helped us. That was, time of the year with what's going on with fish being postponed. They've been beat on all spring. They're trying to recruit for the spawn.
Yeah, they got to deal with all of us.
Beat them more.
Beat 'em.
Blast them 25.
They want to feed up a little bit
Yeah,
on some shad. And then we're
25
just
times off the bed.
throwing trebles everywhere. So,
Yeah, it's definitely tough.
And
And you'd be surprised. So I have, here I am, the tech nerd guy, right? So I actually have temperature probes in my live wells.
Yeah.
That read out on my depth finders. It's not hard to do. It's just the same temperature thing that reads water temperature on the back of your boat. You just
Right.
hook them up to your NEMA network and you can pull them in. You'd be amazed at if you don't open your lid on your live well or get air in there.
Yep.
How hot your live wells
Yeah.
will be.
guaranteed.
I've said it since Yeti stuff come out. Somebody is gonna put Yeti products in a boat where it's your cooler
And your live
Or
wells.
they're gonna do something on your live wells. Like, well, I don't know the name of it. I saw a system where they've got like a research deal. It's kind of like an air conditioner type thing for live wells.
TNA Frank sells it.
Do they? It's like if they did something where it's insulated, you know, basically like if I have a Yeti type cooler or something like that, and I use it in summer, if you put it over your AC vent before you put ice in it, man, it'll keep ice.
Yeah.
2 or 3 more days.
Oh, swamp cooler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean,
swamp
if you
AC.
did that with your, you know, your live well, if you put like a frozen 2-liter bottle of ice in there overnight, and then you take it to the lake, it's gonna stay insulated all day, and you're not gonna have that.
Sure.
You know,
They make vents for
Yeah,
live wells.
that's right.
You
Yeah,
know, you have
that's
to
huge.
drill an inch
Yeah.
and a quarter hole, and it sucks. But like, it's
Well, if you look, there's a lot of. If you watch on TV, there's a lot of
Yep.
guys that have those.
yeah.
And what that does is just recirculates air when you're running.
Yep.
And I saw it firsthand at the Palmetto Trail last year at Hartwell. We fished in, you know, all those tournaments got pushed till the end of summer and fall. I think that tournament was in August. It was hot.
You got a customer at the door. I need to check
And I was watching my temperature gauges, and man, it got almost close to 100 degrees in my live well. And I just lifted the lid, like cracked it while I was running, and it cooled down like 80 degrees almost immediately.
Yep.
Just air circulation, it's amazing.
Questions
We got a bunch of guys going back and forth.
to
on
their
comments.
selves.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
yourself. Okay, that's fine. We
They
don't
started
care
their
about
own
that.
conversation.
Yeah, they're not listening to us.
No, they are.
No, it's 2 people that are talking to themselves on 4 different profiles.
Yeah.
It's
Chris
quite a
Marshall's
conundrum.
talking about the good old days.
Yeah.
Caught 20 on the shad spawn before weigh-in. You might catch 20 right now, but you have to glue them together, right?
It might take 20 pounds to win this weekend.
Or it might take 12.
It could.
Where? The sheriff?
I think he could.
He'll take over 18.
I bet it takes 16 and a half.
Okay. I'm guessing somewhere between 18 and a half and 19 pounds this weekend.
That'd be a really big bag right now.
I know.
It's doable right now.
I don't think the shad spawn's full. I think it's full swing now, and I think somebody will land on them early in the morning. I think they'll catch a big bag. So.
I've had that belt ripped out of my hands 2 years by dang Marcus Leach.
Yeah.
We didn't fish it last year. It was canceled. The year before that, he had 22 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, he and Tim had 22.
We couldn't touch him now. We had like 17. The year before that, he beat us by like 3 or 4 ounces.
What else is going on this weekend? Elites. Henry.
Yep, Neely Henry starts Thursday. You heard Shane say it isn't very good.
Josh Goode wants to know what it's going to do with Kerr this week. I guess he's going to be up there.
BFL Kerr.
Took a 19.3 yesterday. Blankenship
Sunday.
January 1.
That was yesterday, right?
yesterday.
Okay.
It was yesterday. And then next weekend it's on Mother's Day. That's North Carolina division. It'll probably take about the same.
Blankenship won it there.
Yeah, January 1.
Um,
Coango had 18 pounds.
Dang. Is Coango?
No.
Oh,
The boater did not show up to weigh in, which that would
I can
be pretty
understand
bad.
why.
Yeah,
I've had one of those happen before.
he put the slap on.
oh,
Yeah.
what about signing the paper?
What's that?
You still gotta do that?
You just sign the paper when you weigh in, don't you?
Yeah. But he no,
did-
no,
he
no,
said
no,
he-
no, actually we don't have to do that anymore because of COVID restrictions and all that mess. But
Oh,
he,
well, that's a joke.
he left out pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a BFL in Hartwell. That same thing happened to me. I signed this paper, but it actually happened on High Rock. That
Yeah,
was back in the
okay,
day when I
so
remembered I was fishing too fast.
Pug, I've been trying to avoid this for you, but they've asked how you and Shane did this weekend.
Terribly. I'll tell you that straight up.
So what was the root cause of that?
Execution.
No, I mean, I won't even say that. Like, I don't know what the root cause of that was.
Well, I mean,
it's just we didn't land on the right
Decision
fish.
making.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we didn't make the right decision to go to the right area. We were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I know that. But we missed a couple good fish, which I'm sure tons of people in the field missed a couple good fish. But, you know, we just didn't get the bites we needed. You know, you're going to lose more than you win fishing. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes that streak's short. Sometimes
Yep.
that streak's real long.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't like baseball, but if you're batting like 200 and winning tournaments, you're doing
Oh,
really
brother,
good.
you're doing better than the best angler that's ever lived. I think KVD at his hottest time would have been batting like .089 or something like that. So
The Mendoza line in fishing is a whole lot lower than
Yeah.
200.
Yeah.
Did he not fall off the earth recently?
Who? KVD?
Who? Yeah.
I mean, here's the
I
problem.
I don't know if he has adjusted if he can adjust to that format.
I think he's got bigger things. He did. I mean, he's done it fishing wise.
Oh, he's accomplished.
Oh, I'm just-
there's no. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Like
He
4
good,
AOYs
but
and 4 classics.
He went from Tiger Woods to Tiger Woods. Right.
Man, I'm just.
I don't know.
Well,
All right. So I'm
ownership, and having. I mean,
Yeah, but
everything-
we talked about this before. If you're an elite guy, whether you're
you either fish for
Football.
5 fish or you catch numbers. There's
football
one.
guy, fisherman, baseball guy, when you get so used to winning
That's all you want to do.
and you fall
yeah,
off.
cutting checks not your thing
No.
anymore. Like you're there to win.
Exactly.
You know what
So
I mean?
It adds more pressure.
I also think you get more spectators. I think you get more sponsor commitments.
When you're on-
more commercials.
When you're on
more,
top, it is hard to stay there.
I remember
Yeah.
his last few tournaments, like when he was still killing everybody. He's like, yeah, I've got 80 people following me around. He's like, I actually have to set the boat down early
Exactly.
and idle into a place and like get the spectators like to a certain side of a point. And
Yep.
you're like, oh, you'd never think of that.
But you know what? I also think the other thing too that changed his fishing is the fact that people started using his network, and the fact that KVD, if you look back, he is kind of the one that created the network.
What do you mean the network?
Information, sponsorship. I mean everything. Now,
Phone a friend.
yeah. I mean,
I
all.
don't think you can put that on one guy.
No.
I'm not saying.
I don't think he created the network.
He certainly figured out how to perfect it.
He was good at it, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know the guy.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him either. I just know he's very accomplished. He's definitely won.
He definitely
Angler of the
designs.
Year, 6 times?
He definitely designed some of the best-selling baits
Yeah.
in the whole wide world.
Yeah. And used them, not just promoted
Not
them.
just sold them.
Yeah, he used.
I mean, I got one laying right here in front of me. It's got his smiling face on it.
Yep.
The 6XD and the KVD 1.5 are probably two
So-
of the best-selling baits ever made. in the
Something
whole
I don't think like anybody ever talks about as far as if you look in Elite Series or MLF or any of it is freedom, right? So what you were just saying is you're either gonna go for the win or you're gonna try to cut a check. Really, that's a legit decision in a multi-day tournament you have to make, right? If you start your first day of the tournament, you bust 2 7-pounders throwing a topwater bait, like you got a decision. Am I gonna keep this in my hand all day or am I gonna go to the bank and try to you understand what I'm getting at there. So then you have to do that for 3 days. I think when guys reach a level like Brandon Polnick's fishing at that level right now, right? It's he won 2 elites last year, but he wasn't in contention for AOI.
Right.
So it's I'm gonna swing and miss or not, but there's freedom in that decision financially, right? So if you need to cut checks to stay out there, that decision process is different than it would be if you don't.
Yeah, but we're talking about MLF bass and the format too.
Yep.
So you look at the guys that have come back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Done
Jason
very
Christie
well.
won.
Yep.
Right out of the gate. I mean,
Yep.
right out of the gate.
Hackney,
Hackney.
Yep.
Right out of the gate.
Polnick's 1, 2.
Onyx 1, 2. Swindle's back to 2025 every event. Gonna make 37 classics in a row again. I mean, those guys, they just like you talk about in a 5 fish format. You start off catch 2 7-pounders on top.
Yeah, I'm good with
I mean,
3
I'm
bites
good.
the
I
rest
need
of the
3
day.
bites the rest of the day.
Exactly.
But if you can 1 pounder, 1.5 pound, and 2 pound, and 3 pound to death.
Yeah.
Well, you see, like Rob Blackman said, if you're not fishing to win, why show up? If
Look.
you don't have experience in that area of the country or that lake, you're going to have to cut your teeth. You're going to have to spend some time taking what you know from home to apply it there, or completely calling somebody and letting them say, hey, this is what you need to be doing over here.
So in that, if you're not fishing to win, why show up? Man, if I go fish a $200 entry fee tournament somewhere around my house, like I'm swinging for it. Like
That's
why
right.
not?
1 day deal.
Yeah, one day I'm gonna swing. Like why not? Like if I don't win, I'm gonna get a $1,200 check anyway. You know what
And
I
you
mean?
go home and you're fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking about $30,000 or $50,000 a year worth of entry fee money that you put up, and there's a $10,000 check sitting there at 50th. Dude, that's like saying I don't worry about $10,000. I want the 100. but you're not on the fish to win 100. So do you go out and just practice during the tournament, or do you go catch 12 pounds and hope it keeps you on the 50 cut?
What's your decision?
In my last 2 tournaments, based on my practice, I went for the check line. I'm not going to lie to you. I went straight for the check line because I didn't have to practice. I thought that I wasn't on the fish I thought it was going to take to win.
Well, you know that coming out of practice, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had a good idea coming out of practice. When I got in there and I got bit, I was going to lock down and catch those fish. Like, I wasn't going to go. Now, the last day of the last tournament we had, I caught a 5 and 2 4s literally in the first 15 minutes.
When you're-
frog. I threw the frog the rest of the day. I committed to I need 2 more bites the rest of the day.
When you're traveling around, do you try to apply your home stuff first before you try to?
Of course.
You have to.
I don't get into the, like, you can ask the guys I'm room with, I don't care what they normally
You gotta
catch
get
them
away
on
from the top,
here,
right?
I don't care what so-and-so, like, I don't have confidence in that. I've only got 3 days to break that lake down. I'm not going to develop enough confidence in that to do it. So I'm just going to fish how I feel like it needs to be fished, and if I don't get bit doing that way, then trust me, I'll back up.
Yeah.
But if I can figure out how to catch them how I'm confident catching them, I mean, that's what I want to do, because it's
Yeah,
just.
so this, I know we're talking fishing here, but one of the best pitching coaches I ever had chewed me out because I gave up a walk-off home run after I shook. So I shook a pitch to one I wanted to throw to do hit out of the park. So he chewed me out, and then he congratulated me. He said, "You made the right decision chewing you out because you gave up the home run."
Yeah.
And he said, "I'd rather you throw the wrong pitch with conviction as opposed to
Exactly.
the wrong pitch without it."
So that's the exact same premise, man. It's just, you know, do I think doing this is going to win? Probably not. But do I think I can catch 15 pounds a day doing it? I think I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this is your first year doing it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so when you get to the break-even mark, you think that'll change?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
So Bill Owens made a whole career out of 13 pounds a day. He'll
Yes.
tell you that to your
yeah, well, he
face.
says it on stage all the time.
Yeah, 13 pounds a day in the last 5 years would have made you every classic that they've had on the Elite Series.
Yeah.
13 pounds a day for every event. So my goal going into the year was 5 fish every day, every tournament. If they weigh 9 pounds, so be it. If they're 25 pounds, that's awesome. But I want 5 in my box.
So you think that comes with
I think it
your
comes with,
career?
yes, it comes with your sponsorship, how much money your sponsors are putting up in entry fees, your travel expenses. If you feel solidified in your position to keep
you
doing
can take
this,
more risks.
you can take more risks. Because I know if I zero in this tournament next year, I'm still going to get to come here and do it.
Yeah.
You understand? That's the freedom that I'm talking about.
Well, but Swindle didn't get where he's at by winning tournaments.
No, Swindle got where he's at off of personality.
Yeah,
Well,
100%.
personality and
Attitude.
consistency.
And Lowen's the same
I
way.
mean, I'm just saying, you look at a guy who's won angler a year, but
Yep.
never won the tournament.
Yeah.
He's had it snatched away a couple times.
He wants it.
Hey, well, I know.
Yeah,
There's
well,
no
that's why
doubt.
he's there still.
But Swindle, I've watched a lot of his videos. I've never met him, but Swindle said there's literally out of the 15 tournaments he fishes a year, there's 2 where he feels like coming out of practice he has a shot to win that tournament. That's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. like I want to check. Like whatever. If I got a drop shot or
Listen.
wacky rig away to check, I want to check.
I'm going to tell you what. Pick up a shaky head and you can be a professional. I mean, I know that sounds crazy,
I
but
don't know. There's a lot more to it than that.
you're missing what I'm
I can
saying.
throw a shaky head Kyle's cup and not catch one.
I don't fish the elites. I don't even get to fish as much as I used to. I don't get to fish as much as I want to, but I agree with that. Like, I'm gonna live and die with certain baits in my hand.
Yep.
You know, and
You fish your confidence.
Yeah,
You're
and
either
I'm
going to
not-
die having
We all-
confidence
We
or
all do.
yeah, you know,
But-
like this weekend, I knew there's a floating worm, wacky worm deal going on.
Mhm.
But I also know how the lake fishes, and consistently you're gonna win doing different things. And I know how I fish.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna back off.
Yep.
You know, we had 20 pounds by 8:30. I got the rest of the day to make decisions and fish the stuff, fish history.
Mhm.
You know, we lost a fish that would have gave us a win, put us right there at it if we didn't finish second. But, you know, as frustrating as that is, I can walk away from that lake all the time knowing that I knew what to be doing.
Yeah, you got
right
the
time
bite.
of day.
That's all
I had
you-
to bite.
you
I
get
didn't
the bite.
execute. It does suck that we've had a lot of tournaments where we've had been a bite away from getting them in the boat to win at that lake, but it just, you know, I'm gonna do what's confident for me. If I lose, I lose. You know, and it's not probably, but it's definitely different when you're doing it for a living. So you're spending $60K
Yeah.
before you leave the house.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, you know, I sit back in the driver's seat or, you know, do the hindsight 2020 thing. I'm gonna do my thing first before I try something else.
Yeah, that's my whole point. If like your roommate could be there with you, like, dude, I'm telling you, if you do this, you're gonna like you have a shot to win the tournament. But if you haven't seen it yourself,
Yep.
you're not gonna do it with enough confidence or conviction
That's
to actually catch those fish.
Or know the decision when it's, you know, just the time of the day or the lake.
Yeah.
To back off of it or stay with
The
it.
hardest thing to do in the whole wide world is catching another man's fish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not the I said the money, like it's more so of what do I like, this is what I want to do, what do I need to do to stay out here. So I know if I don't at least cut 50 in checks this year, next year it's going to be a struggle to come up with entry fees.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
completely get it.
instead of I've got a 3-year contract with a sponsor that says here's $60,000.
Yeah,
You
here's
know
your
what I
three-
mean?
Here's your 3 years worth of entry fees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and in the elite series they've got to requalify, they got to re-up, right? So
Right.
like it's to make the decision: do I go for this deal, or do I just catch my 12 pounds and hope I end up in the classic cut at the end of the year? Yep.
And I wasn't saying shaky head won't catch because it does.
Yeah.
But you still got to throw it in front of them, right?
I'm
Like today, if you watch the MLF event, all of them dudes were shaky head.
Oh,
All of them were.
I had a buddy give me so much crap
Because
Saturday. He called him off the floating worm. You know, and I know I've seen a 30-pound bag at High Rock off the floating worm, but you'll have days where that works.
Yep.
You know, if we would have executed, we would have won. And he said he lost the fish. You know, his confidence is that, my confidence is a different
Sure.
style. Like you said, you can't catch somebody else's fish.
Yeah.
But
Fish is confident.
there's more than one way to win every tournament you
Absolutely.
ever fish. It's whoever executes their way the best.
You know what? All you're fishing against is fish.
Yeah, that's
You know
right.
what I mean,
Yep.
you have to go figure out how you can catch 5. And
Yep.
If for you it's a whatever random big swim bait, or you it's a Ned rig, it
Yep.
doesn't matter.
Yep.
No, mine's a net.
Oh, you're the. I'm sorry.
His is on
Chris
I
Albain
got
threw a
it
glide
twisted
bait
up.
all day long on fork. Could I do that? 1,000% not. Could not do it. I have no confidence on a glide bait. I couldn't do it.
Man, he wrote the whole classic off at
Telco.
Telco
Yep.
on that.
Yeah, it
He
was.
threw it the entire day.
But it's not to me. It's the wrong decision.
Right.
Because if it had worked, he was a genius. It's just he had enough confidence in it. Me with a frog, let me get 3 or 4 good blow-ups on a frog. I'm gonna throw it
Yeah, but-
until the
but
sun goes down.
Chris Zaldane did something. Maybe he didn't find anything else in practice, and he may have gotten a bite or two, and he said, "Okay, you know what? Here's my chance to. I'm gonna do it."
But Zaldane knew he could have went to the bank site, fished up 15 or 16 pounds that last day. You follow me? But he
Yeah, but
stuck
he
with
had
that
4
glad
for
bait.
22.
Yeah, exactly. So he stuck with the glad bait, you know.
And it's
so.
a good thing he did, because if he would have caught one more, he still would have been just like Patrick Waters. 30-pound bag, but it doesn't matter.
It was
He's
like
got
Patrick
42
Waters.
pounds.
Look how he was catching them. He was catching them a different way than Legacy, but he was still catching 30.
Yeah.
So
That didn't matter either, though, did it?
no, nope, it did not.
Yeah. So the main thing, I guess, what we're saying is,
Fish your strengths.
whatever you strap in your hands, you got to believe in it.
And if you stop believing in it, put it down and pick something else
That's right.
you believe in.
Don't listen to the dog talk.
Mhm.
You cannot listen to that.
I'll tell you when I listen to the doc talk, it's if I know a certain group of guys that fish out or they're
Yeah.
that type of year they fish a certain bait.
Yep.
And I kind of put I still fish my strengths, but I know like, okay, it's the fish are coming to them.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to fish my style? I'll listen to doc talk then, but then
Am I gonna get beat today?
Yeah.
Or am I not?
Like if you fish
Well, it's
locally
not-
all the
it's-
time, like if you look at the leaderboards of tournaments, you know there's certain guys that catch
Well, I
them
was gonna
offshore.
say-
When they hit, you know.
I was
It's
gonna say that's
going on
not really
offshore.
dog talk. That's
Yeah.
just knowing what those people's strengths are.
Yep,
Right.
But if you
Because
go
when
out
you
and
don't-
try to fish everybody else's strengths without developing
Yeah.
your own, that's when you get in trouble.
Because when you don't. We went to High Rock, no practice. We're gonna fish Saturday, no practice. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate when you're a weekend warrior. That's what.
Yeah,
that's what it
that's
is, right?
That's right.
So
All right, Rob Blackman asked, "What's the biggest bag y'all have weighed in?" I don't know if he's asking Josh or if he's asking us, because there's been a lot of back and forth on the comments that we've kind of ignored.
they
Because
said y'all, so we'll just say them all.
29.88, and I didn't cut a check.
Santee,
That was my biggest bag.
What's yours?
26, 28 pounds. It's either High Rock or Falls. I know I had a good bag at Falls one time. And it was probably early on when I started fishing tournaments. And
You were there for it.
it was Some old dude beat us for like
What?
38 pounds on spinnerbait by himself.
Is that one tournament Chris
We got
was going by?
we got the air slid out of our ball pretty quick.
Actually, you weren't there for it. It was a winter trail event out here.
Yeah,
We had 23, 13, I think is what it was. Caught them all with one stump.
That doesn't surprise me.
Here,
Listen, that was the year that it was taking 20-something pounds every weekend, and I was on the benefiting end of most of that.
First one that locked the jerkbait down, I thought I was hung up.
Didn't even turn it. I'm on that stuff. But wait a minute.
Hey, man, I'm hung up. Don't go up there. Don't ruin it.
Yeah.
I'll break it off.
Yeah,
I've never broke 30. Have you broke 30?
Not in a tournament. We have in the river out there goofing off 5 fish for 45
Wiley?
below the river.
Catawba River.
Catawba River. It's not really it doesn't count. That's an aquarium.
Yeah.
But no, out here in a tournament. In a tournament out here is 24.8. It's my biggest.
I never forget that day we had 29.88. Like I was strutting, son. I mean, I'm talking
And
about
then they
rooster
walked up and
crowing,
said,
just head bobbing, had a whip in my step, strutting, and I weighed them in, and I thought I had like 34 pounds. I big eyed them bad. When they get like over 5, I can't judge them, dude. I can't. And I laid him up there, and he was like 29.88. Next up, I was like, wait a minute, dog. Like new leader, like you ain't got nothing to say. And then I looked at the board behind me. I think we ended up like 12th. I think they paid 11 places. So.
We weighed in the year everybody blasted them on Hickory. I've talked about this a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Every time I've been there, taking like 18 pounds of wind. I'll never forget boat flipping the last 5-pounder. We were flipping bushes up there. Waterville High was muddy. You don't ever flip bushes on Hickory. You were there, I think.
No, I didn't. I missed
You weren't there?
Yep,
Okay.
I missed it.
So Cliff Kirby and Rick Dunson won in terms of like 27 and change. And we finished 22nd with 22 pounds, the first out of the money. I remember Reed came back early. He was like, hey, man,
It's crazy
my
how
boat's
late
got some hours on it. We make sure we get back. in time."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. Like we left the swamp. I was like, dude, we need to go. He was like, it's 1 o'clock, and I was like, what we gonna do? Call a 5-pounder? Let's go.
Yeah.
You got in
So
there,
we get
didn't
over there
come
and
check.
we come idling in, and Reed's like, all right, what did we catch him on? I'm like,
Get your story right.
I go
Spinnerbait,
up-
right?
I go up in the parking lot to get his truck, and people are like, one guy's got a hold of one side of the bag, the other one's got a hold of the other side, and there's 2 people carrying 2 bags. And I'm like, oh man. Call Reed. I'm like, hey man, we need to get face gone.
Don't worry about what we called him on. We need to get back out there real quick.
Let's get back in the truck.
Oh man.
I'm seeing a lot of comments on here. Everybody must be getting in it. 27-1, Wiley, 8.
That's a big one. 22 sequin piece by 2 ounces.
There's been a 30-something weighted on
Hang on a second. Jason Lamb, was that like before Wiley was a lake or what?
That's gotta be like 1970 something.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, back when I was a kid, my dad and them, a lot of those were 6-fish limits then. It took 30, 32 a lot out here.
Hey, give me a drink out of the fridge.
Out here?
We're still going. I'm
It's
thirsty.
6-fish limits.
On the blue can or a green can?
Nah,
It's hot.
green can.
It's hot here. Catfish Billy. All right. Is
No.
there anything in these comments?
No, there's not. It's all a bunch of trash and
I just see Josh
I ain't seen Walker all
Rod.
night. Where's Walker been?
and Chris and
he's
Tommy.
asleep.
Walker must be asleep.
No, he's trying to build some baits, I think.
29-4 on bait. I don't know about that, Chris. I think y'all had
Is Joey mediating?
A catfish in there?
y'all had a 30-something pound.
No,
bait.
Joey's trying. He's
One.
trying to provoke it a little bit. I think.
He's spooning. He's stirring the pot.
But
Chris said 29-4 on bait, and I think him and Chris, or him and Kirby, Cliff, they had a 30-something pound bag one day because we had 24, 25 pounds, and we had the old big chest, you know,
Oh yeah, little
looking like
shrub.
we got them. And that's when I got introduced to the full moon in March, baby. And if you don't have 30, yeah,
No good.
you know, go make the other guy a sandwich for him, bring him a drink.
You
carry
catch
his bag.
over 25 pounds, you had a good day. I don't care if it took 48 to win.
Oh,
you know.
it's so hard. When you get around 20 pounds, it's so hard to call.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
What do you
Hang on
do?
a second. Hang on a
You
second. Joshua Good. I would not try to tangle with Chris Marshall. I mean,
Who was Chris Marshall?
you thought the beating Shane gave you was bad. Chris can catch him.
Walker sitting to your left. But you talk about back to conviction. That bag we caught out here is doing what I wanted to do.
Yep, exactly. You're gonna just catch them better when you're fishing your strengths. Like
It
that's
was,
just
it was caught on this right here.
Yep.
This exact one.
Yeah.
I will say this: Brandon doesn't get to fish all year. He's got kids and sports and all kinds of stuff. But
Yeah.
if it comes to an old jerkin bait,
Yeah.
Brandon's gonna be a tough almond to crack.
Yep.
I've told you this for a long time. I don't, there's not much. But my son starts playing basketball. The whole wintertime thing will be out now, but there's not a whole lot of outside sports in the winter. So, and things happen slower when the water cools down.
Yep.
You ask me all the time, man, like what happens to you around Christmas time? What's happened to me is I've got to fish 6 weekends in a row, and when everything starts to slow down, I don't move as much, and I can start putting a little bit together.
Yep. Although I think this year I bested.
I had a terrible winter this year.
No, I'm saying I bested you as far as the biggest fish on jerkbait.
So I'm against that comment because we were talking about people fishing their strengths. It didn't get cold enough this winter
It didn't.
for you to shine,
Yeah.
and that's what I like about people fishing their strengths and not kind of going outside the box.
Yeah.
They always stick to their deal
But
because they're confident in it.
here's the thing though, like fish your strengths, but when you're out there just fun fishing, put your strength in the box and go do something else.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. Like
Yeah.
there's days like I hated the chatterbait forever, and I just put like 5 of them in my boat and took everything else
Yeah.
out and forced myself.
My partner hates it. My
Yeah.
CBC partner, he has zero confidence in it. He does not like chatterbait. I'm like, you got to fish some night tournaments with it.
Yeah, you just got to develop
Get some-
confidence
get
in the
some
bait.
confidence in it.
Yep. And the only way to do that is to throw it. Like you
I
can
agree.
listen to everybody tell you it's awesome until you do it, you're not gonna believe it. That's
Well,
something that lied to me.
There's things, and there's a lot of times you overcomplicate stuff, right?
Yep.
When you watch people in the boat with you blast them on something that you cannot catch them on,
Yep.
then you start overanalyzing. Well, how's he reeling it? What's his work?
It's them red eyes. That's
Well,
what
yeah.
it is.
What kind of trailer he's got on there? All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll believe anything that person tells you too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Until you kind of figure out your own deal.
You got to figure out your own way to do it.
That's what we should do. We should have a Rusty Hook's weakness tournament. Kyle, you got a drop shot.
Make me throw that.
You got a drop shot. Pug, he's got a fish 2 foot or less.
Nope. I quit right now. If I'm kicking up my trolling motor, I got to go.
I'll do that though, like you were talking about. If I go to a lake that I feel comfortable with, I will fish something totally different. I'll fish a totally different area of the lake that I don't
But
fish a tournament in.
Dude,
and
it's
I'll
the hardest thing in the world to do
It
because
is.
you know they're out here doing
Yep.
what you want them to do.
Well, especially when you want to go catch fish.
Yeah.
You don't get to fish a
yeah.
whole lot. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to
The
catch
only
it.
way I know to do it is
It
take
makes you
everything
mad.
else
Yeah.
out, man. Just take everything else out
Yep.
except whatever your biggest weakness is and try to make it a strength. It's hard to do though, but don't do it in a tournament.
No.
If your buddy tells you I'm whacking them on a chatterbait, you never caught a fish in your life on a chatterbait.
Go buy 30 of them from Rusty Hook's.
Yeah,
Hey,
go
you
get,
know
go
what?
get
Yeah.
30 stealth plays from Rusty.
Come get you some stealth blades. They're a hot commodity right now.
How many colors of these do you actually own?
I think like 2. 2 of the best
But
colors.
there's a lot of
Green
each one of
pumpkin
them.
and black and blue. It's for those night fish that have heard all the loud noises and just want something subtle.
Stealthy.
This
They want
is
something
the
stealthy.
That's
This
the
is the
Navy
Brett-
SEAL version of the chatterbait right there.
Brett Hite one.
Yeah.
That's the evergreen.
Bill Sporney, we have not didn't overlook your comment. Deep crankbait, biggest weakness. Any tips from you guys? Well, what lake
I
to
love
start
that.
with?
Deep cranking is like the best thing ever.
When they doink it.
Oh,
Not 2 feet of slack.
Because like you just
Nah.
know you can make that same cast again and catch another one. Like there's no doubt.
I got dust on them boxes. I just
So here,
Throw it.
I will tell you this. When you got a 6-year-old in the boat that can't really cast around docks around here, offshore is the way to go.
It is, really
Yep.
is.
Because they can cast wherever they want and they ain't going to get hung
Especially
up
now with the spots and
Yeah.
you, like they can just catch fish.
and the perch. You
Yep.
take your little boy out there with a 1/4-ounce spoon and catch 300 white perch.
Or
All
a
right.
7-inch
All
flutter
well.
spoon.
All right,
But back
Bill,
to
here
deep
we go.
cranking.
You want to start with Wiley? I'm going to tell you now. leave the deep crankbait in the box, go fish the bank, and go fare better.
Nah,
No,
I mean,
man.
that's not
no,
what we asked
you,
about Wiley.
you can do it. Really, the biggest thing is you got to throw it. The only way you get good at it is to throw it and look for stuff that is in 18 to 22.
So the hardest thing for me when I started fishing off the bank was I'm used to casting at something.
Yep.
Okay. So
We casted stuff out there.
well, I'm talking about like a dock pole, or under a float, or there's a rock pile that I can see,
Or lay down.
or lay down. I'm talking about a visual target. So what I had to do when I moved offshore is pay real close attention to my topo map and look
I
at
know
my
she
contour
posted
lines.
a nice little.
Look at my contour lines and almost play a game with myself, saying that, I'm trying to cast down that contour line like I'm parallel on the bank.
Yep.
Okay.
Fact.
And when you start doing that, all of a sudden you will find one of those magic topo lines that they're wadded up on. And when you figure that out, David said 18 to 22. Sometimes it's 16 to 18.
Oh my
What?
God, Tommy.
Tommy's busting on me.
On me?
Yeah.
What did I do? I'm just sitting here.
I don't know.
Lake St. Clair's like that. If you find smallmouth in 10 foot of water, you can literally fish the whole bowl in
That's
10
right.
foot of water.
So when you figure that
I
out,
can't
you
get
can
away
run
from
that
that
map.
comment.
What is it? Read it.
They said,
Uh-huh.
they said
God.
you have to find Tommy. They're talking about parking lot cage matches.
We could try it. Pretty good at it.
David tried to get his hand hooked in here.
Ain't nobody able to
Nobody
do
could
it.
do it. But Bill, the biggest thing, so like these guys are talking about with a weakness, you got to leave your strengths at home. So when I was younger, I guess some people still say I am young. I didn't know how to skip a jig. I went out there with 1,000 yards of big game and one rod.
You have to literally go throw it. Now, I mean, there's Wiley. There's so many community holes that you can catch fish on. If you want to just get some confidence in it, come see me and I'll give you one or two to go try. I mean, everybody else is out there.
The
So
6XD is, that's what you can't go wrong with the 6XD.
they will bite it. Typically something in
Shad
chartreuse.
pattern,
What is that?
White. That's a Strike
What's what?
King.
6X.
Strike King 6XD.
What is that?
Crankbait.
We got them right here.
Like if you're going,
RustyHookstackle.com.
if you're going down the bank, there's like a little rock point coming out on the bank, and I could throw a square bill across that and catch a fish.
Yep.
It's the
You have
same-
to look. You have to look at the whole lake that
Yeah,
way.
it's the same difference. If you're going out on a channel bend and there's a point sticking out into the middle of the channel, it's just like that rock bank, like rock
like,
sticking
hey,
out off the bank. It's like
Here,
throw it
it's
right
here.
Yeah.
Now I will say this: there are some places on Wiley that aren't quite as defined.
Yeah. There's like
Some little sneaky,
subtlety places
sneaky
everywhere.
places.
But yeah.
And I'll sit here and tell you firsthand, it is very uncomfortable to fish a weakness. But you just got to go do it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only way you can do it. You just have to go do it.
Yeah.
Just like Nike says, just do it.
I mean, I enjoy doing it. I've won several tournaments doing it, but I will say this: out here, it's not as big of a bonus to have in your back pocket as it used to be. You might get 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks a year now that it plays, but most of the time, guys are beating you on the bank.
Yeah, but to get confidence in it, you can go out there and find one of them schools that's
And
got
you can catch 100.
25 to 50 little, peckerheads in it and catch them every cast. When you find them. They aren't everywhere. All right, so we covered shad spawn. When are you leaving next?
For my next tournament, I think it's like the last week of May. Going to
Okay.
Harris Chain in Florida.
That'll be good down there. Y'all are going to hit the Florida at the right time. Everybody goes there early.
Yeah.
It ought to be really fun. There ought to be a lot of big bags down there then.
I hope so. It's gonna be hot.
You know Santee pretty well.
Yeah.
Florida stream bass, they like hot. They
Yeah.
like the sun.
I hope so. I think it'll be a good tournament. It's Memorial Day weekend, so.
Tim Kelly, you're right. The watery deep crank and bite has died off. I still like to go do it somewhere around October, end of September, October, because it's usually taking about 14 pounds to win, and I can go catch 1 or 2 good ones out. finish the rest of it on the bank.
I wonder how much that has to do with perch. Because out on Wiley right now, there's millions of perch out deep. Like,
There's
Some
perch
big
eaters.
little man out there.
I get that.
I mean, I'm just
I
saying.
know there's perch eaters. out
5
there.
years ago, I was catching fish that would eat a perch.
Yeah.
Now those fish are
Yeah.
a little harder to come by.
That's the way I think about results this weekend. You had Blankenship win on the BFL yesterday at Bugs. Man, I don't even know the guys who won on CBC.
I don't either. Somebody asked me that too. I don't know their names.
What's his name won Wiley Saturday? Brent Long.
Yep.
His partner.
Brent Long and Brock Taylor.
What else was going on?
Was there a cat? I'm sure there's a lot of cats.
There was Dave Anderson won the F1 tournament at Norland.
I talked to Mike Langford up there.
Butch and Round Man won it.
That's right. Butch and Round Man
Yeah.
won 3 tournaments this weekend.
Where's that at?
Well, no, Butch
Watery.
won 3 tournaments. Round Man fished Saturday.
He won 2 Saturdays.
I think they won 2 Saturday, and then Butch and Sonny went to Baden on Sunday and cracked them boys' noggins up there too.
Yes, so David Etheridge and Butch Williams won
They won the Watery Open and the
Watery Open and the Cat. The Bruin
Bruin.
tournament and the Cat Open at Watery at 1930.
Are they deep guys?
No.
That Tim Kelly. The last couple events at Watery have not been caught offshore. I'd be willing to bet
And then
a fair amount of money that was a grass bite.
Butch turned around and went to Baden on Sunday and won there too. That was one of Jason Land's Wildcats. Speaking of Jason Land, his last qualifier is Saturday on Norman for
Is it a Wildcat or Spring Trail?
it's the spring trail.
I can't fish those. I've been banned.
No, this Saturday is coming up.
Wildcat or Spring?
That's the spring trail on Norman.
I got banned. I've caught so many 30-pound bags on here. You believe that? Santa Claus is real too.
He is. He was on our podcast.
That's right. There was like 300 of them fish a tournament at Norman this year.
Yep.
What? Santa Claus.
There is a really good tournament Saturday put on the sheriff's or Gaston County Sheriff.
Hang on a second. Ronnie Wilson finished 3rd in the BFL at Hartwell.
That is a miracle on ice, right?
I was gonna say something's wrong. You guys better.
Who was Ronnie Wilson?
He's just a little fella, I know.
Is it like a Chris Marshall protege?
He is a Chris Marshall protege.
That's what I was thinking. Ned Rigg, Weenie Worm guy.
Tanner Fletcher. That's kind of odd, really. I mean, Joey Berry showed up at Water and only caught 16 pounds.
Was that this past week?
unbelievable.
That is kind of shocking.
They must have just showed up, not went and looked or something.
I don't know.
Was that this past weekend?
That was this past weekend.
Gotcha. But the
Old Beanie Weenie tournament.
Castle for a Cure thing is Saturday.
Where's that at?
That's out of South Point on Lake Wiley. Can you still register for that, David?
Mini Marshall.
What? Yeah, you can.
Okay. Just the only caveat is the lake is off limits right now.
It is.
It's off limits from Monday until Saturday
Is
of
that the
last
same
month.
as the sheriff's department?
That's the sheriff's department. Yep.
They have a belt they give away for that, right?
A real belt.
A real belt.
Now, there were a couple people that have already touched that belt who I think have lost rights to it.
They give you a brand new one every year.
No. I'm talking about the sheriff's department stopped in here because we were sponsoring a tournament, and they brought the belt with them.
Gotcha.
And there's an individual that's already put that belt on.
That's bad
I
luck.
think he may have jinxed himself.
That's like walking around on crutches when you're not hurt.
Yeah. And
Ronnie, I ain't no Yankee. Easy on that one though.
that's
Georgia,
a
aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
that's a stab at me
Me
and
too.
Kyle.
Where are you from? I'm from Georgia. What are you talking about? I was born in Atlanta, fool.
Oh yeah, never mind. He's
Really?
from that part of
Yeah.
Georgia.
Oh.
Northside Hospital, fool.
You're from Georgia.
I
By
thought
day
you were
in
born
Georgia,
up
yeah.
north.
Where are you? By day, I'm coming. Get it right, man.
I'm actually from West by God, Virginia.
I just got
You
kinfolk up north.
We ain't kin.
Well, you can look at us now. All right.
What else is going on this weekend?
I don't know anything.
BFL Sunday. Is there something on Saturday? ABA got anything going on?
Somebody said there's an ABA. No, it's a BFL. That was a
BFL
lunch
Sunday.
conversation.
Yep.
There you go. Steve-O got us sign up with CS Motorsports for the.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think everybody should come fish Wiley this weekend.
160.
Not if you've been on it since today.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, the official practice day is Friday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
official practice Friday.
Official
Everybody
day
go
is-
practice Wiley Friday. Just
official
stop in the
practice
store
day is-
first.
Yeah, stop in the store, register for practice. They're giving away
Grab a shirt, practice shirt.
free Rusty Hooks t-shirts.
You got a sign up sheet for practice?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you need to get that going.
These are all the people that were on the lake.
So it's off limits since it's off limits since yesterday.
Last night at midnight.
That would be a Rob Blackman move. Is what that would be.
That's slick. That's a hey, the game warden's gonna be here. We got COVID going on. Y'all need to throw your fish back.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
That's probably the
Unfortunately,
best fishing prank
I'm-
ever that I've ever heard.
it was well done.
That's got to be the top one.
It was well done.
I was in that one.
Yep,
That's-
you were. I think there were a lot of 18-pound bags that day.
What's
that
even
everybody
better?
pulled
What's even
back.
better was two old guys that pulled it off, and they weren't even within 45 minutes of the lake. But
The
hey,
phones were ringing off the hook.
yes,
About
that's
the
awesome.
third call I got, I was like, I already know. We already let our fish go. Rusty Hook swear hour. There you go. Has to be signed off.
That's Josh. He can sign off and go to bed anytime.
It is late. We've been on here.
Matt Hayes,
2 hours.
62 are already signed up for the sheriff's tournament. I'm trying to read the comment and you blanked me out of it.
I'm just trying to fish the
You can
spring
read.
trail. Jason done shut me out. He said, you can fish the fall trail. I'm like,
All
"It's
right,
deer season."
Kyle, give a synopsis because Rob Blackman did not hear that prank.
What?
The
Oh, the
COVID.
story? Oh, okay. So, was it last year?
It was
yeah.
this time
All
last
right,
year.
so this time last year,
So we caught him
our,
off the shad spot.
our favorite governor decided that he was going to not allow people to be around each other. I don't think the mask deal was even out
It
yet.
didn't matter. You
It
Hey, it
outside.
was you
Shut
weren't
the
supposed
lake.
to be outside.
Yeah, shut the lake down. Couldn't be outside. It was just super.
There was one ramp that was open.
Yeah, it was nuts.
It
So
was not owned by the county.
there was two individuals from the Cherryville area that didn't get the call to fish the tournament, and they decided about midday, lunchtime, or they found out that they weren't invited, so they decided to get a little retaliation on everybody and pull a prank phone call to the person running the tournament, which was a little wildcat deal, little pickup tournament, fruit jar tournament, whatever you want to call it.
It got pretty big though.
That,
25.
Listen,
Yeah.
we were running one heck
It
of
was
a
a
good
bit-
trail.
it was a
I'm
big
just
one.
saying.
So they were a little bitter that they didn't get to fish, and they decided to call from someone else's phone that wasn't recognizable and acted like they were the game warden.
They acted like Officer Klein. Is
Yes.
who they acted like.
And
So when I
Officer
called the
Klein,
number, that's who answered it.
Officer Klein was going to be at the boat ramp about the time everybody's going to weigh in. So phones started ringing, people started texting, calling, hey, we're just throw your fish back. So everybody gets back to the ramp. They threw their fish back, and there was no resource commission guy there. So, needless to say, everybody got their money back, and the two guys in the Cherryville vicinity
Are lucky they didn't get.
got the last laugh, which is pretty awesome because that's pretty
It was well
that's
played. I
pretty
mean,
slick for some older guys. That's a young guy deal, but it's pretty
One-
cute.
one of them is rather aged.
Yeah, it was well played, well played.
Yeah.
If you were fishing a tournament for about 2 weeks, you're pretty bitter about it because everybody caught them. There's like what 2 18-pound bags.
No, there were more than that.
Was there?
There were like 5 of us that threw away 18 pounds.
It's pretty good.
It was pretty solid.
What's bad is I caught our biggest one while Shane was on the phone with the tournament director, telling her fish back.
Oh, when I talked to you, you guys were behind the 8-ball a little bit, and then I talked to you again, and it's like, are you serious? I just caught a 6.2. I'm like, okay,
So
sorry.
if you were what's even worse, if you were the guy that put your phone in the box, puts on vibrate when you fish, and you showed up with fish, you couldn't technically weigh your fish because everybody else who had their phone on, who was trying to run the little
Yeah, you
the
got
wildcat,
Orange Leech, I'm still bitter.
it was
I mean, literally, I think everybody had them there. I mean,
Yeah, from the
they
back
really
seat
did
looking
that
in,
day.
it was awesome. If you were in the tournament and everybody was whacking them, yeah, I could see how it was pretty
We
good.
should have known better too, because during all that all COVID protocol, you thought it was July 4th weekend out here.
Oh, it
every
is
day.
awful.
I mean, it was bad. Everybody was locked up.
All right.
Nuts.
8:55. Wow. All right. Well, all the products you have viewed tonight can be found on rustyhookstackle.com.
Let's go over them. Kick Knocker by Jackal.
Those-
Jackhammer.
Yep.
Brett Height. They call us the Shadow. Tell me what this is.
This is a white jackhammer.
It's a white jacket.
White jackhammer. You got an Ama. Wake bait.
That's
That's
a
a
glide
glide
bait.
bait.
Whatever. Glide bait.
Maybe we should start over.
White jig. You got a white swim jig. Jerk bait. Frog.
Yeah, we got several bloody thumbs lures. The Superman, or what he calls this one, Dave.
Egg hammer.
The egg hammer.
Those two, I'm not 100% sure on the website either. But
Okay.
They're here at the
Innovation,
store.
Swamp Donkey, Frog, the Mega Bass Big. I can't say that word.
Get it.
Frog. So that's a popping frog, where this one more of a
Walker.
the dog frog. And then the KVD 2.5 wake bait. This is actually a really good color. It's called Oyster.
Bug, what you got over there?
Catcher lures, 1/2 ounce, 3/8 ounce, white Arky style jig. Fat Albert, super chunk cross. That's it. Oh,
Okay.
and my old waking spinnerbait's got the belly weight on the back of it with the white blades. You can reel it really fast and keep it under the water.
And you can't forget probably one of the biggest staples in the Carolinas
Yeah.
year round, Mega Bass 110 French pearl jerkbait.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Rusty Hooks Live, where our hooks may be rusty, but our points are always sharp. Tune in next week for more antics and
I'll put the microphone in my mouth.
fishing.
They come back.
Let's see. Can you do it?
No.
Can you end this show?
No, I'm not gonna even attempt. I gotta work my way up to that. That's not one of my strengths.
All right. Good
And
night.
you do it with conviction.